Now turning to 5AA sport.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
It was training for the Crows today. Adelaide need to make at least one change this weekend to replace the injured Josh Rochelle. Carlton star Harry Mackay looks set to miss a third consecutive match for personal reasons. The AFL is looking to recruit Chief Operating Officer to work as a second in charge to CEO Andrew Dillon. AFLW number 1 draft pick Ash Sentra has re-signed with Collingwood until 2027, and Minwoo Lee has moved up to career high 22 in the official World Golf Rankings after his maiden win on the PGA Tour. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, couple of crashes to watch out for at the moment in Blair Athol, Grand Junction Road near Prospect Road, causing heavy delays backed up to Main North Road and affecting inbound traffic. In Aberfoyle Park, a car's gone into a tree, Oak Ridge Road near the Black Road roundabout. And in West Beach, look out for a speed camera on the blink. It's constantly flashing, whether you're speeding or not. Tapley's Hill Road, just outside the airport there. At Dan Murphy's Hahn Super Dry, 3.5%, 330ml bottles, 24 case, 3 for $150 for members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 22, Friday cloudy 21, Saturday mostly sunny, also 21. Right now it's 24 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
I'm Brenton Bragwas. Tonight, Mustang Mayhem. A police car chase speeds onto the Oban bus track. Traders call for action over violence in Goodger Street. See the disturbing vision. The new ways to check if you're on a winning or losing power plan. And don't wait for the Reserve Bank. Effie Zahos reveals the 3 simple steps to lock in your own rate. 9 News. Your news. Night at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
Great to have you with us at 6 after 4 on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon across Adelaide. We know the landscape of sport is ever evolving, but I just feel like today we might be getting a bit of a taste of what the future of football may look like in a whole range of ways. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. A grand final could move. Origin footy could return. One day a tribunal challenge dropped and pigs may fly. Timmy, welcome.
Well, if they're
Which one's more likely?
If they're at the grand final, that'd be terrific. Which one's more likely? I reckon the Andrew Dillon time in charge, which hasn't been that long, I reckon they always leak a little bit out and just test the water and then they go to work. Now, I think he had all those meetings with clubs. He had all those meetings with the players and the Players Association. The feedback was, and we got it from Marshy as well, Paul Marsh at the AFLPA, was that there is an appetite for State of Origin from the players.
They did.
Now, once that happens, then you've got...
their job is to make it happen.
Well, now you've got a vehicle to jump on.
That's it.
And clubs might say, we don't want it, but AFL says, well, players want it, you're doing it.
That's
and
it.
this is when you're doing it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. A landmark tribunal ruling. I think it'll rock the way we play and coach. The players said it's a small forward craft, but the AFL Tribunal chair said the player breached, here's that word, his duty of care. We'll get to it. For those that have just tuned in or haven't heard, Richmond's Ryan Mansell's 3-game ban was upheld. The match review officer, Michael Christian, graded Mansell's incident as careless conduct, severe impact, and high contact. That's 3 weeks. End of story, and that's what he got. The tribunal rejected Mansell's evidence, actually totally disregarded it, just pushed it aside. AFL Tribunal
Don't
chair...
use that word push, mate.
No.
You'll get suspended.
Can't do it.
Well, there's now a new rule. It's push an opponent into a contest.
HR shoving stuff.
Wow, mate. Jeff Gleeson said Mansell should have known that other players would try to contest that mark. He should have been aware that there were other players on the field. In actual fact, he wants us all to be aware of the other 18 players in the opposition out there and yours. The force of these are his words, the force of the push went well beyond what is a reasonable player would consider prudent prudent in the circumstance.
Because that word always gets used in
That
footy.
does. And Mansell breached his duty of care 3 weeks. Wow, what can I say, Timmy? I'm not surprised.
No.
3
I'm not
weeks?
surprised at all. And after we discussed it, I knew as soon as that ended up being a concussion on the back of a memo, I knew he was in trouble. Absolutely in trouble.
Would 1 week been enough?
I think so, because I think you've put the memo out and you've gone, you know what? Okay, so warning to all of you. Don't do it, okay? Cut it out. And so players are crafty and coaches are crafty, and they get smarter about what they do and how they do it. So
we've been doing this for 150 years, getting what we call superior position, forward craft, getting to the crumb, pushing your opponent out.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the 1977 grand final today because we're interviewing Tony Joles.
Looking forward to that.
Wasn't much pushing going on. No. So it's definitely it's been heightened in the last 10 years.
Okay, so we're shoulder to shoulder at a stoppage. Am I allowed to push you out of the way?
I think I would say at the moment, if you push me sideways and I'm not going to hit my head into somebody, you'll be okay.
Okay, so
but if I clonk my head on someone else's,
you're done.
You're going to get done.
Well, mate, this is opening a can of worms because I see that contest.
A can of worms was open a long time before.
Well, it was, but at a stoppage, and there's generally 100 in a game, I've seen midfielders push and jostle all the time. Now, someone like, let's pick someone like Cripps, who's very strong. If he was playing on someone like me that's not as strong and pushes me into an opponent and I get concussed, that's 3 weeks.
He's out.
Oh, my God. What's next? 8223 300 Where's this going to stop? I've been saying for years they're eroding the absolute fabric of the game. I mean, what's the alternative? If you dong your head, you dong your head. 3 weeks, good night, nurse.
Unique home-style food text there. Very clever sometimes. John's just quickly come in and said, oh, no, take Rowey's number and see you in the boss's office tomorrow morning, 3 weeks.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, have you say, a lot of people have been talking about this around, they call it the water coolers. I mean, I've heard about 100 people today say he got 3 weeks. But well, that's where the game's headed. Suns v Crows, that's on the Gold Coast. It's this Saturday. It's at 12:50. It'll be live in AA. I am so looking forward to this test for the club and us calling it. Probably the two most improved teams this year. Now, albeit it's round 4, they've only played 2 games. The Crows have played 3. That would be the Crows and Port. Both undefeated. Both can score fast. Both have talent. Both have really good kickers. And they got playmakers and runners. Here's Matty Nix.
There are some great midfields in the competition, but this is probably the pick of them. And they're in some rare form. They have been now for majority of last year. Rao's playing his best footy. He does start the season really well when he's fresh. Anderson alongside him, Miller, it's never ending. So we've got our work cut out for us. We're confident our mids are playing some good footy at the moment that we'll take it to them, but we know that that's going to be a key area of the game.
One of these two teams is number 1 for centre clearances. One of these two teams is number 1 for score from centre clearance, number 1 for retaining possession from centre square, number 1 for winning ground ball through that midfield. And they're all areas that the Crows aren't the best at. They'd need to get that right because they could get opened up. Timmy, that's where the game will be won or lost, I reckon.
Can't see them getting opened up. They're not in that. They're not in that mode at the moment, are they? But you know, it is a big test, and I think they're up for it, and I think they're very evenly matched. The one battle again, and I think when Riley O'Brien comes in to have that chat again, he did it against Sherry, which was going to be a big challenge, but Jared Witts this week.
Another challenge.
Jared Witts is a real key for the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's their biggest test of the year. Very excited Crow supporters have you say, or their biggest year for the date. They've lost their last 3 games on the Gold Coast by an average of 34 points. So let's see how much they've improved. I think they have. Cannot wait, Timmy. On the flip side, Port Adelaide, they got St Kilda. I know St Kilda got smoked in the Crows round 1, but since then, I think they've got their game together the last 2. Last year, they averaged 0.4 for the entire season, which is a great sample size, 76. And you'd say, yeah, that'd be right. Very defensive, not a heavy scoring team. They're happy to kick 8 goals, 11, and you kick 7 goals, 14, and they win. That's sort of like what they are. This year, with that flogging included in 3 games, they're averaging 101.7 points a game.
It says a bit, doesn't it?
That means they can score, Timmy.
Yeah, and which is a thing like you said, they haven't been known for. So it's something that they're adding to the game, which I think is great because
most teams
Ross
are
Ryan
now.
would be thinking, I can't keep going back to that world because it's not getting us over the line. So I think the 100, you're right, a lot of teams are now scoring over 100.
When they get a chance to fill their boots up, they're going Formula One down the middle. They're the third best for the season to date. They've got Port on Sunday. Here's Coach Ken Hinkley.
A lot changes quickly week to week. Changes happen in this game at this level particularly, and to St Kilda's credit, they're in some really good form and in some really good nick. They've got some personnel back that they didn't have in that game that we played them. It was a pre-season game. There's lots of reasons why things are different at this time of the year, and we've got some players that are not there as well. So funny, 7 days is a long time in footy, let alone 5 weeks, which is I think maybe what it's been since we played.
Well, Port need to get their contest back. There's no question about that. We heard Campo yesterday. It was poor on the weekend. He had all the numbers. Good luck. Hope they do on Sunday. It'll be live again on 5AA. We're another day closer. Is Zach Butters a chance?
I think from last night and the talk, I would say that they will err with caution and not play him this one.
Okay.
But what it does mean is he will be back for gather round. So,
Sunday. Is that Hawthorn?
It's Hawthorn on the Sunday night, which I thought that he might be...
the aeroplane game.
A very risky person to play that one. But you know what? As it turns out, he's going to be close for this week, so I think definitely next.
Okay, Port supporters have your say. Hey, AFL are weighing up a shock grand final switch because they want to try and get Origin return. You said that in the opener. We have heard that. Clubs are wanting to get rid of the pre-bye finals, the pre-finals bye, I should say. Here is Channel 9's Eddie Maguire.
The AFL Grand Final would be played on the first weekend of daylight saving. With a sunset scheduled at 7:32 p.m, the opportunity for a night Grand Final becomes even more enticing and all that brings.
Thoughts, Timmy?
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I've got no problems with it. I mean, once upon a time...
But that song goes out the door, that one day in September, we want to...
The irony of that is that daylight savings doesn't come in till 2 a.m. So unless they're playing the grand final after 2 a.m, that's not happening. So
we're going to look at an October grand final in the next 2 years, which is 26 and 27, and a night grand final.
Yeah, I think
you know what?
It'll be a twilight experience before that, I think.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah. The AFL's not going 0 to 100 on this one.
They're not going straight to 7:20 start?
No, I reckon they're going twilight first, see how that rolls out and ratings-wise. Yeah. And if they like it, they might stick with it for a couple of years. Yeah.
You in?
Well, we had one in the COVID, didn't we, in Brisbane?
Yeah.
That was a night grand final, wasn't it? So, yeah, that seemed to work all right.
That was an outstanding grand final.
Yeah. So there you go.
Was that the one Geelong won?
No, they got beat.
They did too.
Yeah,
got beat by Richmond.
Tigers and Geelong were
one of Dusty's BOGs.
Have you say, are you all in on a night grand final, a twilight grand final? Do you want a State of Origin back? How are Port going? How are the Crows going? Plenty of calls. We've got a $50 Powers voucher to give away. And just in front of me in our brand new little Nova studio with a brand new TV, to the right I've got Toby Murray Extends. Versatile big man Toby Murray signed another 2-year deal. Good on him.
Well done. The mid-season draftee last year gets himself a couple of years on the list. 8223 0000 is the number you can call in on and get involved with the show tonight. Lots to have your opinion around, especially with the Ryan Mansell situation and the grand final and the season shifting. Lots of detail from Eddie Maguire's report last night on Footy Classified. We're going to speak to Jimmy Bartell about all that tonight on the show. Erin Phillips will join us in studio, which we're looking forward to. We have Where Are They Now? And Georgie Hodges, back-to-back premiership winning Thunderbird, with us on the show. Plus, tickets to the 5AA Port Adelaide locker room on the weekend too. So tickets to give away to plenty, including the Thunderbirds and the Reds. So loads to get involved with. 8223 0000. Call us now.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Join Rowey and Timmy G in the studio every afternoon with 5AA's live video stream of The Sports Show. Visit Adrian Bryan Hyundai and take a test drive today to find your perfect Hyundai. A-Lifts Road, St Mary's.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry Sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries Sale. On now.
Imagine waking up in a home designed for luxury living, where every day brings the opportunity for a morning swim, state-of-the-art wellness amenities, and evenings spent with friends. Retirement isn't about slowing down, it's about living on your own terms. Living Choice has created luxury homes with premium resort-style amenities and a community of like-minded individuals who believe retirement is about living life to the fullest. Make your choice. Living Choice. Go to livingchoice.com.au.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and sends them straight to your phone. Instant, up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
The Kia Sorento set the bar as Kia's most popular small sedan. Now, the new first ever Kia K4 raises it. Best in class second row legroom, ultra wide screens, and a GT line that comes turbocharged. Enter Kia's biggest small sedan, the Kia K4. Small sedan, big personality. Test drive today or find out more at kia.com.au.
Kia, movement that inspires. With Big Difference Home Improvements, you can make a big difference to your next family gathering, your next Christmas lunch, or your next quiet time. Just you, a nice book, favourite bevy, and a place to relax. Big Difference Home Improvements make all the difference when it comes to outdoor blinds and roller shutters, verandas, pergolas, carports, or a stunning timber deck. Ask the Big D team for a free measure and quote today. Don't just make a difference, make a big difference. Visit bigdifference.com.au.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
1st of January, everyone comes back. You get a 10-week run into the season. You play some State of Origin for your best players. As a player, I'd rather play in a State of Origin game than up the back of the country in a practice game.
21 after 4. Lots of talk about the change to the landscape in AFL next year and going beyond. 8223 0000. We can get your thoughts on the air. If you've got an opinion, we'd love to hear it. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted, custom design, fixed pricing, total peace of mind, because trust is a must.
Afternoon, guys. Look out for a crash at the moment in Blair Athol, Grand Junction Road near Prospect Road, causing heavy delays backed up to Main North Road and affecting inbound traffic. Got urgent electrical works to watch out for in Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road, and some speed cameras just set up then in Seaton on Frederick Road and in Largs North on Lady Gowrie Drive. At Dan Murphy's, Pure Blonde Ultra Low Carb Lager, 375ml cans, 24 case, 3 for $150 for members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now, that's not all the traffic that's happening around Adelaide, Timmy. You've got a report for us.
No, I've got an update for you. The fact that there's a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven says a lot about the anticipated traffic numbers.
Huh?
Who said that in?
A highway to hell, get it? A highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven. Says a lot about the traffic numbers. Get it? Oh, come on. Did I waste material on you?
That's awful.
Did you write that or that someone
it was sent
texted
to me.
that?
I loved it. There'll be a lot of people out there laughing, going, geez, Timmy, you're wasting material on these two
No,
blokes.
you are. So who sent it?
No, it's just a thing that's on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to explain jokes, you're right.
Oh, come on. A highway to hell and a stairway to heaven, please. Come on. Anyway, wasted material.
I'm sitting here with my mouth wide open.
Yeah, well, I'd expected that.
I'm looking down
look to you.
Facebook live stream.
You do look for me. Sorry, Timmy.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, listen, we are interactive, and that was great interaction, Timmy. 8223 0000. I talked about Mansell getting 3 weeks for jostling for position, pushing his opponent, and accidentally, a football accident, he did get a whack across the lamb chops by another player that the AFL Tribunal chair said you've got to have a duty of care. And And I don't want the game to be wrecked or ruined. I had Michael Ace ring me today, the greatest, most courageous little fella you've ever seen. In a marking duel, it was just brilliant. He said, so if I take a screamer and I knock out my opponent, but I take the mark and he's unconscious, I think that's the last bastion that we're going to wait to see where it might be a landmark decision. Will that player get rubbed out because he knocked you out with his knee to your head?
Currently today, no.
Currently today, no. And that's what I said to Racey. And I said, but there'll be a precedent. And the way the AFL's going with this Gleeson roost, he'll say, you have a duty of care. Could have you gone up for that mark without your knee up? Could have you gone for that mark and, slid up his back? Could have you gone for that mark? Did you even have any care at all, any duty of care that if you lifted your knee and he backed back into you, that you could have kneed him in the head and knocked him out? That is coming.
Well, there's two different viewpoints on
Timmy,
it.
that day is coming.
One said it's not a modern game, it's a modified game. And another one said, did you not hear the speech of Paul Seedsman in his retirement speech of having to retire because of concussion? So
I have. And it was sad.
You either sanction concussion or you don't. But I agree with that sentiment that there will be a day when they probably cut that out as well.
Well, they're going to have to if they're going to protect the head at all costs. And all I'm saying, and I'm sorry, Simon, I did hear Paul Seedsman's speech. He became a dear friend of the show. He was a regular. I've played golf with him. I know his struggles, and I'm very, very sorry for him. And he's getting better, and I hope he does. But listen, when you cross the white line and you play a collision sport, accidents do happen. And none of the things that happened to him were malicious. He just ended up with a bad concussion. So don't play the game is my answer to that, Simon.
Let's go to Bruce. G'day, Bruce. You got some thoughts on both the Mansell ban and the Rochelle injury?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, boys. Look, the Mansell incident, I agree. Look, he just pushed him. It wasn't a malicious push. He was just trying to make ground to get around the corner. I think that's what happened. So, 3 matches is way over the top. Maybe, to make an example of him, maybe 1 match. I'm a lot more concerned about the Rochelle incident. Now, I've watched that 3 or 4 times, or quite a lot more than that, actually. And to me, all right, I understand the ruckman has got to make a contest and has got to put his presence on and crash the pack and all of that. But from my viewing of it over and over again, I can't understand why that ruckman wasn't cited, because we don't want, he went in and he kneed the guy because he wanted to, I don't think he wanted to break his ribs, but he really went in to bruise him, which is, you're probably taught to do that. You crash the pack and get some bruises out there to win a game of footy. But I think in this case, that is far more dangerous. Hence, what happened to the Melbourne sentiment. I think that should have been cited, and he should have got 6 matches to make sure that sort of bullying incident doesn't happen again. He had no chance of getting the ball. He was in the back of the pack. He just went in with his knee to cause a bit of pain.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, I see where you're going with it. 3 broken ribs aren't as bad as a whack across the lamb chops and getting a slight concussion. That's what I'd say about that. But haven't we been doing that for years, making your opponent earn it? Well, God, no. I don't think I've had a coach from Mal Brown to Graham Corns to Neil Craig to Peter Rode that it would have said to not make your opponent earn it. God, it used to be written up on the board.
I don't think Cherry was even looking at Rochelle. No. He was trying to smash that whole pack and get the fist into it, and
but that's how he
Rochelle
plays.
Comes back into it. So, again, if it had been the head, what happens?
There, gone. Dirk, great text. Unique Homestyle Food text were interactive. He said that was just simply awful, Timmy. It reminded me when Sam opened the show with Happy May the 4th be with you.
Yeah. That was a regret.
That was awful. That's 2 awful moments.
Apologise if it's too smart for you. My apologies, you 2 blokes.
Robin's texting saying, I'm not laughing, Timmy, but I'm smiling heartily.
Thank you, Schmacker, because he's got a good sense of humour. It was too witty for you 2.
No,
so I will put those sort of ones away. My apologies.
It's 28 after 4. Erin Phillips will join us after the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
The US President Donald Trump will be announcing tariffs he's going to place on countries around the world as part of what is being called Liberation Day by the Trump administration in the United States.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
John Short with the Southern Illinois University.
Any expectation that this will be a thoughtful, nuanced, strategic plan is, of course, ridiculous. That's not how Donald Trump rolls.
5AA Breakfast.
But it has profoundly serious consequences.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Wayville Hyundai's 2024 stock clearance is on now. Every new 2024 Hyundai is priced to clear. No waiting, no delays. You can drive away today. Did you know you can always get your car in quicker for a service at Wayville Hyundai? Enjoy peace of mind knowing you're in the best hands with our expert service team. Ask about our service now, pay later options. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground at 11 Goodwood Road.
If I say the word pub, are you thinking palmies?
Okay, guys, got a chicken, no salad? Yeah, that's mine, thanks, mate.
Or pokies? If gambling's never far from your thoughts, or you're often looking forward to your next bet, you could be showing the early signs of gambling harm. But if you spot the harm, you can stop the harm. Visit gamblingharmsupport.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Mario Maiolo Promotions and 5AA present Blowin' in the Wind, honouring Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Bob Dylan with friends Johnny Cash, Joan Baez and the Travelling Wilburys. Come celebrate the legends who contributed to cultural change through inspired lyrics and songs of revolution with an amazing cast. The times they're a-changing, folks, so don't think twice because it's all right. Blowin' in the Wind, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday 23rd of May. Book now at Ticketek.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your grandfather's war medals or your mother's cherished piano that was passed down to you. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour. donlanlawyers.com.
The Easter Bunny has hopped into all 18 RSPCA op shops and hidden eggs for you to find. Head into any RSPCA op shop until the end of April and hunt for the hidden eggs in store. Each egg unlocks a special discount and every purchase helps animals in need. So hop to it and find those eggs. Visit your nearest RSPCA op shop today and find a bargain. For more info, head to rspcasa.org.au.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. A lengthy police chase has ended with two teenagers driving onto the Oban track. A month-long campaign promoting SA wines in Canada has kicked off. Val Kilmer is being remembered as a modern acting great following his death at 65. And in sport, Toby Murray has signed a 2-year contract extension with the Crows. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, look out for a crash at the moment in Blair Athol, still causing issues. Grange Junction Road near Prospect Road, affecting inbound traffic, and got some urgent electrical works to watch out for in Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. Speed cameras just set up then in Effleton on Carlisle Street and in Osborne on Victoria Road. Anaconda's Easter adventure deals are on now. Explore more ways to play more and pay less this Easter at Anaconda. Don't miss out, shop online and in store. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, down to 14 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 22. Right now it's 24 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
27 minutes to 5. Jimmy Bartell's going to join us after 5 o'clock. Still your chance to win locker room tickets to the big game on Sunday when Port Adelaide take on the Saints. And we've got room for your calls as well. 8223 0000.
Well, Rowey, this is going to be a very interesting one for me because I saw this young lady grow up from a very small, well, a baby, really.
All the way to grow up too. I think we all have.
Yeah, exactly. But she was in our backyard for so long.
Yep.
It wasn't funny, but now written a book called Inside Out. Now, this is the intriguing bit. We're going to find out more about the inside of Erin Phillips and also the outside of Erin Phillips. Welcome, Erin.
Boys, great to be here. And yes, I've known you for a very long time, Timmy. But don't worry, there's no after premiership celebration stories at the Lighthouse in there. So they didn't get through legal. So they were out there.
Yeah. You're about 3.
Or Dad's done that one.
Oh, it was classic. And that's probably where we're coming from, is that when Greg came back from Melbourne in 87, Erin was 2 years of age. And I think you invented the child on the oval for celebrations, because I think it was 88.
Yep.
Greg always knew where you guys sat, the girls sat, your mum, Julie, and he goes up there, and you weren't having any of the hugs and kisses. You just leapt over onto his shoulders.
I needed to touch the premiership cup. I was out there.
And Greg just went, well, you're on the shoulders, off we go. So she did the lap of honor and everything with us.
That's beautiful.
So
you did thank you, because I had to do it with my kids at the same age.
There you go.
And it's true.
Worries.
She was the first one I ever saw in any competition do it. So it was amazing. But let's go right back to the beginning, because it is quite a courageous thing to do, is put this stuff on paper. What drove you to do it?
In the beginning, I thought, when the idea was pitched to me to write a book, I genuinely thought, well, is my story even that interesting? And then when I started to think about it, I thought, okay, if I'm going to tell my story, I want to tell it from the inside and out. That's where mainly the title came from. And I started to actually realise that it was something I needed to do for myself personally, and also that there were so many elements of my life, just not even just being an athlete, but the things that I've been through personally, through body image, through IVF, through all sorts of things, that if I could use it as a reference for people in any shape or form, if it can help them 1%, then the book would be worth doing. And had the support, obviously, of all my family, my wife Tracy, who was also just equally as brave to write about it, and really proud that it's out.
Tracy lived some of those things. I mean, us guys growing up with you would never have known or even perceived that any of that was going on. I mean, we're like your biggest fan coming through. I mean, I got you to play Slowdown, for God's sakes. Because you weren't allowed to play footy anymore at 13, and I think you were about 15 or 16 when we got you to play. And we're not seeing any of this from the outside looking in. And this is that whole inside-out thing. We're the outside looking in. It's the old goldfish thing. For you to get that out, I think is really courageous. And there was stuff in there that your mum and dad don't even know. I had a lot of issues from a body image perception of myself, that I wanted to be something. Actually, looking back, I didn't even know what I was trying to be. I had this obsession with having flat abs. We were playing as I don't just blame it, but we were playing as junior basketballers in bodysuits. So who invented that and why?
I don't know. But again,
that was horrendous.
I wouldn't say
Rachel Spawn didn't like it.
Well, if Rachel doesn't like it, we shouldn't wear it. She's a queen. But I went down a really bad path of trying to look a certain way. And this is the days when social media weren't even around, which I look back and think, gosh, I'm so lucky that I didn't even have that to fight myself with. And I was putting myself through just a horrible, horrible time. I wasn't eating right. I was hardly eating at all. I was on diet pills. I wanted to go and get a tummy tuck that I couldn't get because the surgeon wouldn't even do it. And I was just living in this strange perception of what I was, and I was not appreciating my body for what it could do. All I was doing was hating it for what it didn't look like. And so from that moment, I had to completely change my whole outlook on myself and start just loving myself. And like I said, just appreciating what my body can do. Like I'm an athlete. I'm going to look different. It's okay. I can achieve things that I need to achieve. I don't need to look a certain way. But it was a terrible, terrible time. And I'm actually one of the lucky ones that probably got through it.
So did you talk yourself into that? Did you get self-help for that? Was it driven by you? How did you get through or break down that barrier?
I think it was pretty much the moment, not the moment, but not long after, when I went to see a plastic surgeon. I thought that was the end point. I was like, what am I doing? This is not okay.
At what age?
You sat with Tracy, didn't you?
Tracy took me. Tracy was, telling me, look, you don't need to do this.
At what age was this?
I would have been in my 20s.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're in the States
over in
at
the
the time,
States,
aren't you?
yeah. So over in Dallas. And I just, after that, I thought, this is not the life that I want to be living. This is not fun. This is not joy. And it's not sustainable. I didn't want to live like this anymore. So I started just completely changing my outlook on myself and being much more kinder and nicer.
Well, we're glad you did, because you're the champion that we've seen grow up in front of us. You've got in here a story of family, self and sport. Of those three, what's the one you've had to work the hardest on? And what's the one that's come the most natural to you of the three? Because we would all say that's our three too.
Yeah. God, they've all got their challenges, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
I think the circle of life.
Yeah. You have.
But sport comes so naturally. I know you were dedicated and committed and as competitive as anyone.
Yeah.
But you were a natural athlete.
Yep, I was.
Yeah.
I reckon the family element. I'm so lucky that I got to grow up in a such a supportive, caring family, and to marry my wife Tracy, and to navigate through an IVF journey, which was just crazy, and not knowing.
They're awful, aren't they?
They're terrible. And I think, and one of the big reasons why we put basically an IVF chapter in is because we didn't know anything going into starting a family. So
we can't say that on air, that chapter either. It's got a rude word in it.
Yeah. I think you can pick up the book and read that. But it was. Yeah, if we had known maybe half of the stuff that we were about to face or what we were about to go through, and not just for same-sex couples either. This is a journey like heterosexual couples can do, single people that want to go through the journey can do. So that's one of the most emotional roller coasters, which is the IVF journey, is one of the hardest to write, because there were so many layers and elements of what we went through, but we shared everything.
The sporting journey, which is the one we probably all looked on from the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
You played at Smosh West Lakes, which was my home club as a kid as well.
Yep.
You get to under 13s, you're playing great footy, you win the best and fairest, and then there was this rule that you couldn't play after that. You say that's probably the first moment of sexism that you ever experienced, cutting you out. Now, it's that probably that old mentality of we're doing the right thing by you, whereas you're going, no, you got to let me keep playing. I love this game. And it was taken away from you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And looking back now, I always say the saddest part is that it was accepted. That's just the way it was.
Yeah.
And Mum and Dad made it clear to me that this was coming. I was playing a little bit of basketball towards the end of my football career to try to find another sport, because footy was ending. But just looking back, and now when you have kids of your own, and I think about if I had to sit any of my 4 kids down that loved anything half as much as I love footy, say, you can't do it. And the reason why you can't do it is because you're female. Like, it would break my heart. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. Now, and people often say, do you wish you were a boy? And I say, at the time I thought maybe I did wish I was a boy, but I actually came to realise I didn't wish I was a boy. I just wanted what boys had.
Yeah,
I just wanted to play footy.
Not hard, is it?
No.
Equality, but it is hard.
Yeah. And so, fast forward, 17 years down the track, and a couple of slowdowns, which I'm so appreciative I got to put the boots back on.
Do you remember one Leighton Hewitt played? He was the number 1 player in the world.
I played that game. Was it Adelaide Oval?
It was at Adelaide Oval. 31,000 turned up.
Yep.
And I grabbed all the lads and said, now listen, this is the rule. Nobody is to tackle Leighton Hewitt. You hear me? Just corral him, let him have the kicks. Nobody touch this bloke, right? Yep. He's number 1 in the world. Erin comes up, goes, that doesn't apply to me, does it?
In fairness, Dad goes to me, if you tackle him, make sure you grab his wallet.
that is something. That is something the big fella would say too. That is funny. I'm a Pictures Man. It's a great book. It's out in all good bookstores. Make sure you get it. Erin Phillips, Inside and Out. You met Obama. There's a photo of you and Obama and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
You've got to meet some amazing people through your career, haven't you?
Unbelievable. And even I think about some of the people that came to our basketball games, especially when you play in LA, you play in Staples, you play at Madison Square Garden, you have a lot of celebrities rock up. You've got Bill Murray, one of the original OG Ghostbusters, sitting in the front row, and you're playing hoops out there thinking, oh, there's a Ghostbuster watching me.
How good.
Just amazing.
I don't know how you're incredible in both careers, basketball and footy. 2 WNBA championships and the flags with the Crows. How do you've been at Olympics, how do you benchmark them? Or you just don't, you can't?
No, you can't.
Don't even bother.
No,
Okay.
I always say that representing my country is obviously the ultimate. To play in Olympic Games, that's the pinnacle of sport, and that's, the pressure to compete and perform. Yeah. It's not like every week. You've got 4 years to get it right, to stuff up. So
you can't say next week.
Yeah, you can't say next week. But I've been so, I say so lucky. I'm very lucky. I put in a lot of work, obviously, to get
earn that luck.
Earn that luck. Yeah,
that's the difference.
And I always say the harder you work, the luckier you become. And I'm so grateful for all the teams and the experiences that I've had.
We know we're going to let you go, and it's a pity because we'd love to have more time. But yeah, exactly. Get the book. That'll give you a great inside and out, Erin Phillips. But the sliding door moments, if football doesn't stop, you don't really get into basketball. You don't go to America. You don't meet Tracy. Life does take you on all sorts of different paths, and sometimes they're just for good reason.
It is, and it's funny because people ask me, do you wish footy was around when you were 13? And for me personally, my story is, now that I look back and go, I don't. I'm glad that I'm so grateful I got to play basketball for all those reasons you just said. But now, if there was no football around now, it'd be like, no, bloody hell, it needs to be there.
Correct.
I'm just so glad that young female athletes don't have to now get to 13 and choose a pathway other than if they want to play footy. So. For me, everything turned out, honestly, perfectly. Amazing. Yeah, honestly, to end up my career at Port Adelaide, just standing in the stands and just remember so many games watching, yourself and Dad play and just jumping on the beer cans on the way down to the Oval at halftime to kick a footy, like all those little memories.
Most of the ones your dad drank?
Yeah, there were too many.
Shaped who you are,
Shaped
Erin.
who I am.
It's a great book. We'll get to that. What now? I've heard you played basketball just the other day.
Yeah, I played my first game for the Woodville Warriors on the weekend. We lost by 3 to West, but it was fun to get back on the pine. Couldn't hit the side of a barn, but
Jeez, Erin.
it was good fun.
Coaching, basketball or football?
Or coaching. I'd rather probably coach basketball.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Erin, it's a great read. It's a Hardy Grant publication. It's one you can't put down. There's good photos in there too, Timmy.
Yeah,
the ones
I'd
that
imagine.
I gravitate to. It's in all good bookstores. You're a star, Erin. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome to have you in the studio, Erin. It's 13 minutes to 5, and you can visit Adrian Bryan Hyundai and take a test drive today to find the perfect Hyundai at A-Lifts Road, St Mary's. Let's check your traffic.
Hey guys, still got residual delays from an earlier crash in Blair Athol, Grand Junction Road near Prospect Road. Look out for urgent electrical works in Penfield Gardens too, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. Cameras, Frederick Road in Seaton. One just set up then in Taparoo on Military Road. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
G'day, South Australians. Rex Patrick and Jackie Lambie here.
How do we bring down the cost of living?
Stop those cartels price gouging our gas, Rex.
Low gas prices mean low electricity prices.
Stop those foreigners buying residential properties, Rex.
That takes away houses that young Australians need.
And take on Coles and Woolies, Rex.
That'll bring food prices down.
And make those first degrees free, Rex.
Let's take the debt burden from our students.
Vote for the Jackie Lambie Network in the Senate. Spoken and authorised by Jackie Lambie and Rex Patrick, 111 Macquarie Street, Hobart, Tasmania.
Adelaide's biggest Greek festival in the heart of the city, the Yasu Adelaide
Adelaide Greek Festival is bringing 2 epic days of food, fun and culture to Benithan Park on April 5th and 6th. Experience the magic of Greece with over 40 food and market stalls, live music and entertainment, plus traditional dancing and performances. Whether you're Greek or just Greek at heart, everyone is welcome. The Yasu Adelaide Greek Festival, Benithan Park, 5th and 6th April. Tickets online at Eventbrite or at the door.
Yasu. That's from Stavros. Use your outdoor area all year round with Louva House. They're the market leader in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof.
How good is that? A Louva House roof will let in the perfect combination of airflow, sunlight as you need it, plus you can use it day and night with options like LED lighting. Now, if the weather turns a little sour, perhaps the automatic rain sensing technology will kick in and keep everything dry and protected.
Yeah, brilliant.
Look forward to when that happens.
Visit the showroom. Well, it's going to be Sunday during your game.
Sunday, oh.
Yeah. Visit the showroom to see for yourself. Everything is manufactured here in SA. How good's that? How good is that? From the highest quality materials, then distributed across Australia by a family-owned and operated business.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in after our show at 6:30 for Driving with Dixon. Spoke to Big Charlie last week, last home game, and you saw the photo. It was a bit embarrassing for me. Proudly support. I needed a Louva House.
You did. You did.
To put his head through. It was huge. Plus, you can call the team today to organise a free, no-obligation design, measure and quote, and they'll even come to your house and do it for you, right to your door. See the light with Louva House. Visit louvahouse.com.au.
Recapture your sense of adventure today in the award-winning RAV4 at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park. With class-leading safety as standard, enjoy improved fuel economy with RAV4's leading two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive hybrid electric models. RAV4 is in stock and ready to go. Come and experience the difference and take a test drive today at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park.
Paris Scarf Greatest Brand Sale is on now. Save 30% or more on full-price kitchen appliances by Ninja. Upgrade your kitchen with our range of blenders, food processors, air fryers and more. Don't miss these huge savings. Sale in soon. Conditions apply. Paris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
SEW Eurodrive offers innovative solutions with products and services provided from a single local source. SEW Eurodrive. Driving Australian industry since 1982.
With so many holiday homes on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. Surfing Tina at a beach villa. Is that a shark? Or channel surfing Tina in an apartment. Ooh, a shark show. Book whoever you want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 9 minutes to 5 here on the Sports Show. Jimmy Bartell's going to join us after 5 o'clock. Where are they now as well, a little bit later on. And tickets galore to just about any sporting event coming around at the moment, including this, a double pass to Adelaide United and Sydney FC on Saturday at 7 o'clock. If you want to go, we've got them right now. 8223 00 55, first caller through.
Did you play this on purpose?
Because of your joke?
Yeah.
Was it a joke or just a statement? I still don't get it.
This song's called Highway to Hell.
There was a good text earlier saying, Timmy, an island of excellence in a sea of mediocrity.
Oh, take that person. Take them.
A lot of comments coming on the unique home style food text when you get a champion like Erin on, and we do throw that word around loosely. Look at her record. Cordsey says that in 2 sports.
I think you can argue on that one.
Great. Oh, my God, girl, I've got to get that book. You always look fabulous. That's Leslie from Christie's Beach, because she had body image issues. And the book gets right into it. So, and she wants to help people with that. Now, of all people, Erin's always looked amazing.
Yeah.
When she was telling me that just now, I thought, really?
You would have been shocked. Yeah.
I was.
And that's what I was saying about the outside looking in.
Yeah.
We don't see that or think that about her. And the problem is, I always talk about this, self-talk is the most important conversation we will have every day. You have to talk to yourself a lot better than what people do. And Erin, at that age, didn't know how to do that. Now she sees herself in a totally different light. And she's far more mature, but she was only a young lady. And it's amazing what can trigger things. And some people go anorexic because of that.
That's right.
And then, like Erin mentioned, it wasn't even the world of social media. So imagine that pile-on that can happen in I'm glad they changed those outfits, that's for sure.
Eating disorders.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a seafood one.
Seafood need it?
Yeah, that's a poor gag.
That's your attempt at a gag.
No, but it's right up there.
It's up there. Matty Nix's presser today, because the Crows take on the Suns Saturday. Cannot really wait for this game, 12:50. He spoke about Sid Draper.
Well, possibly. Again, it's a team decision for it. I thought he was great on the weekend. Again, he's taken to that role. So there's a part of it where we'll make the decision for the team, but also for him, because I think if he's performing well in it, it's not one that we need to change. But, we'll have a look at that.
It's a no-brainer.
That's whether he starts or
He's
not.
in the 22, and I think Nankervis or a Pedler type maybe is a sub.
If ever there's an opportunity to do it, this is the week.
Yeah. He went on to speak about, now we know Tex in round 1 got rested and Sid went on. Because it's a long year. God, he was good last week. Tex could have got 6 or 7. He's still, I think, their most powerful, most damaging forward.
6-day, 5-day.
There you go. Have a listen to Nixie.
Yeah, we go a 6-day break into a 5-day break, and that's an ongoing conversation that Tex and I are having daily. He won't do a lot today, so that'll get you guys talking. But then there's also a momentum piece where don't flirt with that. We know how tough it is to play the footy we have been right throughout the year, and we want to make sure we stick with that. We've also got a really sharp turnaround into the next round. But as we've done, we're focused on Gold Coast at the moment, so I'd love to take him up there and play the next one and the next one.
I don't like flirting with form, and resting players, you can tend to do that. Like he's probably played his best game for the year. He's been building up to it. He's ready to go. If he's fit, he puts his hand up, you pick him.
Yeah,
throw him in there.
Which game do you want him for? That's probably what they're trying to decide.
I love what Nixie said there. I want him for every game, but if you're in a position where you can rest him during a game, that's the best scenario.
Well, it's probably better than his form tapering off because he can't recover.
That's right.
You got to watch that as well.
Yeah,
so.
And they've got a great team now there. They're PPT, they're by Virgio. He spoke about the challenges also of the Suns.
We know what Gold Coast bring. That's where we feel confident going up this week. It's not easy to stop it, though. It's one thing to know what they do really well. They got a super experienced coach who just knows success. He's experienced it, he's been through it, and so you can see what he's trying to build up there, and he's doing an amazing job of that. Their style of footy is a really hard one to play against, but it can be beaten.
It's Richmond round 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark 2, I should say.
Yeah,
they run and run. They got smalls. They tackle. If you don't like the contest, get out of the team.
They're pretty fierce.
They like the heat in the kitchen, and they win contested footy. God, this will be a big test.
Is this his 3rd season now?
Yes.
I reckon it'd be year 3. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I think it is. There's a couple of different points of view on the Oscar Allen meets Sam Mitchell. Now, I see today they're saying Sam Mitchell, well, they've got the bye, so, he's just on holidays over there in Perth. Very convenient, but that he's on holidays there. But look, if he did meet him, it's not a great look. Gary Lyon spoke about it on Fox.
I would look at Oscar Allen differently today than I did yesterday. And I'm sure there'll be conversations had, and the coach, Andrew McQualter's got to deal with it, and it wouldn't totally surprise me if he stood down.
Wow.
That'd surprise me, I reckon. I reckon it would surprise me. So there's no photo of it. So I would say that at this stage, there's no evidence. So no evidence, no stand down. We'll see how that one plays out. But there's also that point of view of NRL now. They've had players put their hand up and say, I'm out. I'm playing next year at another club.
Yeah, and it's this early in the season still. Daly Terry Evans was a great example of that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of accepted now in the NRL. It's a totally different mindset to the AFL. And just quickly on Damien Hardwick, only his 2nd year at the Gold Coast, joined Stud last year.
I know.
So it's amazing how time feels like it could be a lot longer there.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah.
My life is going quick, though.
I reckon we knew Paddy Dangerfield was going. But he did it so well.
But
Won the BNF that year. He held it well. Didn't have to announce it. And then you think now, and I remember asking, do you wish you had have announced it back then? Because he had to lie. He was on our show. And he was, no. He made the decision miles out. But, God, professional. Now, people like him can do it. I couldn't. When I'm out, I'm out. Get rid of me. Sack me. Cut me. Gone. We're all different.
5 o'clock news is coming. What is it, Tim?
No, I have noticed. I once tried to remember he had a secret, and I said, what about that? And he went, all right, I'll let you know. The state game's going to be on.
That's right. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. Okay, the state game's going to be at Tanunda.
Fold like a pack of cards. We have Jimmy Bartell coming up after the news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Kathy doesn't have time to wait around for deliveries. That's why we've updated the AusPost app to include 2-hour estimated delivery notifications, so Kathy doesn't have to. Come on. You ask, we deliver at Australia Post. Available when matched to a MyPost account.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, Brett Ebbett here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. We've been doing deals on a huge range of 2024 plate Mazdas, and we've just received truckloads more of them, all priced to clear. These drive-away deals on new Mazdas include free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, and accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
It can happen at any time, more often than you think. Suddenly, through illness or accident, you could lose the capacity to manage your financial or personal affairs. What happens next? Who makes medical or health decisions? Who controls the family trust? From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers will answer your questions and help carry out your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Now, they say you shouldn't mix business with pleasure, but they clearly haven't been to the AFL Gather Round Business Lunch. This event brings together the AFL industry, the South Australian business community, and offering the chance to celebrate footy while networking for your business.
How's this lineup? It's great. The speakers include AFL CEO Andrew Dillon, tick. Premier Peter Malinauskas, he's very engaging. The AFL talent and media personalities are Paddy Dangerfield, we just spoke about Paddy, Rory Sloan, our very own, Kate McCarthy, and Bucks.
Oh, Nathan Buckley, there you go. Tickets include seated dining with a delicious 2-course meal, a 3.5-hour drink package, exclusive guest speakers, as we've just heard, networking opportunities, and an official 2025 Gather Round souvenir.
Well, this will be the special one, so don't miss it. The AFL Gather Round Business Lunch, it's on Friday, April 11. It's at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Get your tickets now at afleventsoffice.com.au.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 14 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 22. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Get down to the free open road and outdoor show at Jayco West Beach this weekend. jaycoadelaide.com.au.
A lengthy police chase has ended with 2 teenagers driving onto the Oban track. A Mustang was reported stolen from a driveway at Roslyn Park early this morning. It was tracked through 2 wells in Virginia and into the northern suburbs before the pair drove onto the Oban track at Tea Tree Plaza. It travelled south for several k's before becoming stuck at Modbury. A 14 and 19-year-old have been arrested. Val Kilmer is being remembered as a modern acting great following his death at 65. After overcoming throat cancer in recent years, he has succumbed to pneumonia. He appeared in dozens of movies, including Batman Forever, Tombstone, Willow, The Doors and Heat. But for many, he'll always be Iceman, going head-to-head with Tom Cruise's Maverick in Top Gun.
You guys really are cowboys. What's your problem, Kazansky? You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. Ice man, I am dangerous.
Producers are anxiously waiting for details of Donald Trump's Liberation Day, where he'll announce the next round of tariffs. Australia is the largest beef exporter to the US, with almost 400,000 tonnes shipped there last year. Those suppliers, as well as winemakers, are preparing to be targeted. National Farmers Federation President David Johinke says American consumers will feel the cost pressures before Australians do.
It won't change the Australian dynamics of what we do domestically per se, but it will increase the costs of the American consumers to buy whatever produce that we're exporting into the US.
The Coalition says it supports wage rises, accusing Labor of playing politics on the issue. Labor's revealed its submission to the Fair Work Commission, calling for the minimum wage to increase by more than inflation. Peter Dutton is accusing Anthony Albanese of politicising an independent decision to pick a fight.
Our position is that we want higher wages and we want to make sure that we've got downward pressure on costs, because under this government, real wages have gone backwards. And that's just the reality of people's lives.
Dangerous surf has battered Sydney's coastline, damaging walkways and forcing the closure of all beaches. Bondi's icebergs took the brunt of the hazardous swell, with waves crashing through a glass fence into the club. A costly clean-up is now underway. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
Managing Tex Walker is a topic of discussion at Westlakes. The Crows veteran may be rested when there are short turnarounds this season. Coach Matthew Nick says they really miss him when he's not on the field.
Tex makes us a more balanced footy team. We feel like we perform better, the way he helps a Darcy Fogarty and the way he helps if it is a Sid Draper that's playing forward of the ball. There's an experience there that he brings and an aura. Riley Thilthorpe's playing great footy at the moment. There's no doubt that Tex has an effect on that.
Adelaide play the Suns this weekend, and in contract news today, Crow Toby Murray has signed a 2-year extension. Carlton star Harry Mackay looks set to miss a 3rd consecutive match for personal reasons. More from Jordan Tunbridge.
The Blues held a light training session at Princes Park this morning, and Harry Mackay was a notable absentee. Despite joining teammates on the track yesterday, it now appears unlikely the star forward will take the field against Collingwood tomorrow night. Mackay has missed Carlton's past 2 matches due to personal reasons, and coach Michael Voss is shutting down questions around when he will return.
I'm not going to get in a weekly conversation about it. So when we get to the point where he's named, you'll just know that he's ready to go.
At Princes Park.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, couple of crashes to watch out for on your way home in Brooklyn Park, so Donald Bradman Drive near the airport, and in Sturt Road near Diagonal Road. Also got some urgent electrical works to keep an eye out for. Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. And cameras today, plenty of them, including Port Road in Howerton. Do you or someone you care for need complex mental health support? SANE can help. Choose from a range of free digital and telehealth support services. Visit sane.org today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 14 tonight, partly cloudy for your Thursday, 22. Friday, partly cloudy, 21. Saturday, mostly sunny, 22. Right now, it's 23 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Bragwas. Tonight, Mustang Mayhem. A police car chase speeds onto the Oban bus track. Traders call for action over violence in Guja Street. See the disturbing vision. The new ways to check if you're on a winning or losing power plan. And don't wait for the Reserve Bank. Effie Zahos reveals the 3 simple steps to lock in your own rate. 9 News. Your news. Night at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But with Photobase, it's more like $15 billion. The total value of homes they shot last year alone. Photobase specialises in real estate photography and videography so good that when a prospective buyer sees your advertisement, they won't be able to resist. Plus, they're a South Australian family-owned business. So, if you're selling your home, tell your agent you want to use Photobase.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Above the vibrancy of Kent Town, across the parklands to the city skyline, your view stretches out before you, never to be lost. The East End is at your doorstep, as are the eastern suburbs. This is a lifestyle change beyond expectations. A sky home delivered by an award-winning team known for impeccable quality. Parkline by Chase Crown is living above and beyond. An opportunity not to be missed. parklinekenttown.com.
Immerse yourself in a world of wildlife without leaving the city. At Adelaide Zoo, home to prowling tigers, irresistibly cute otters and meerkats, gentle galloping giraffes, and roly-poly playful giant pandas. Discover over 250 majestic animals nestled in magnificent botanic gardens and many up-close animal experiences. Take a walk through nature and discover the wild within. Visit adelaidezoo.com.au.
Stay informed, get involved.
5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey,
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. Yes, on this Wednesday, 8 minutes after 5, loads still to come on the show, so stay listening. Where are they now with a 3-time premiership winner in Tony Joles? Looking forward to that at 5:30. Georgie Horges, she's a 2-time premiership winner as well for our Thunderbirds. She's coming up on the show. Port locker room tickets, Sunday Arvo against the Saints. That is right around the corner, Port fans, so just stick by your phones. And, of course, if you want to join in the show, you can call us. 8223 0000 is our number. But thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company, SA family-owned and operated since 1980, it's time for this man.
Bartell check signs it brilliantly.
He can do it all, James Bartell.
Here's my Bravo man,
Jimmy Bartell,
on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, Jimmy Bartell each and every Wednesday, thanks to Statesman Windows. Well, there's some talking points this week now. Welcome, Jimmy. I think it's been a big week for you guys.
It has been a big week, but every time we say that, next week seems to top it as well. We've got more MRO decisions. We've got, is Harry Mackay in or out, captains meeting opposition coaches, but yet the two South Australian clubs, different fortunes and looking to be going in different directions.
Well, let's start with the MRO. They've upheld the Mansell 3-game ban. Your thoughts on the way that's come out, and was it predictable that it would be upheld?
Well, I'll start with your last bit. It was predictable. They were never going to overturn that. Someone has to pay the price for concussion. That's the way it is. And whether you go up and argue a sensible case and a football case, you know, it's a bit of a kangaroo court. As we know, they've already got the outcome in mind, and all it does is just pay for some more kids to go through private school once you round up all the lawyers and they just mumble along. I tell you what you want to do. If you ever want to kill an hour of time or record something to get yourself to sleep or get yourself incredibly frustrated, just tune in and listen to the Tribunal hearing. It's the biggest load of crap you ever want to hear. It is ridiculous. It is time that you'll never get back, and they go frame by frame and they ask for explanations in a world that never exists on the football field. But I think where it comes down to, I think we're all moving with the direction of the AFL and society to look after players in their head. Concussion is serious. I just don't think they've found the right way to, I guess, hold players accountable for it yet. I think if Mansell got 1 week, would we be debating it? Probably not. We'd probably go, okay, probably a little bit reckless in that situation. Just the 3 weeks and then the explanation just seems a little bit off.
A bit heavy-handed in the end. I think you're right.
It's a joke. Duty of care. When's that been a football term?
I think it was like they put that memo out and it was like, okay, first person to, go against the memo is going to get the big penalty. But I think you're right. Had he got 1 and you go, well, they did warn everybody, you sort of go, okay, might accept that. 3 seems a bit heavy-handed.
Well, one of the statements that was made in the Tribunal was pretty much asking Mansell to have a duty of care for every player on the field and to be aware of everybody's movements on the field at that same time. Now, I've played a little bit of sport in my time and a little bit of AFL football. That's an incredibly difficult task to do, especially, 18 players on the field from each team moving in incredible speed where 1 minute you're in a really good spot and the next minute you're not. So it was an extraordinary listen.
They're wrecking the fabric of the game. I've been saying it for years. I don't want to go on about it. But there's a new rule now. It's called pushing into a pack rule. Not pushing in the back, pushing into a pack rule. What an absolute joke. You summed it up brilliantly, Jimmy. Oscar Allen, captain of West Coast, met with Sam Mitchell. We know that to be fact. Do you look at Oscar Allen any differently now, or you would have if you're a teammate of his?
Yeah, I think it's going to be different for each player. I know there'll be a lot of players who go, well, that's just the world we live in. And there'll be other players going, well, we're a young team, we're battling here, we're leaning to you as a captain, and you're looking to jump ship. So it depends how you take it. For me personally, I never really cared too much for other players' private contract negotiations, as long as you were 100% committed, because I knew I was at training and on the weekend. As soon as I got the sense you weren't, you heard about it from me. So that'd be the way I'd approach it. I'd get people who've got families and lifelong decisions and set yourself up for life. We know, especially with some of these contracts being thrown around, especially from the Saints and some other clubs. So I respect that's a personal, private decision, but also I want to see your actions and do they back up what you're trying to say as a captain by leading us, hopefully, to playing better football, which the Eagles are struggling to do at the moment.
He didn't get a kick last week either. Players and player managers, I think, have too much say. They need to wrestle the ascendancy back to clubs, I think. That's another argument. Hey, Eddie Maguire, with your podcast, said potential fixture shake-up for 26 and 27 around State of Origin and a later grand final. Jimmy.
Yeah, well, you might be surprised. Ed Maguire can make some headlines. And big ideas. It was interesting trying to pry some answers out of him on that. I think, look, they're trying to find solutions. I like big ideas, and that's the fun bit about Ed. At least he's willing to throw some ideas up and cop some flack about it. But I don't know whether this one will 100% get over the line, but where they're going with it is, well, if we want State of Origin, we've got to find that in the calendar. If we want to have still, teams playing each other once and then the buys where they need to be and then in a good space, for things like the NFL coming out, do we want international rules back? That just means the season has to be extended somewhere. And if you extend it at either end, well, then that has us playing grand finals in October, which I know it doesn't sound good for the song that one day in September, but we have played grand finals in October before.
Well, that's right. I've got to say, coming from the sample background, we always played ours on the October long weekend here in Adelaide. It was always a week after the VFL grand final, so it was actually, it's not a bad time to play, to tell you the truth. So I actually think it's not a bad idea as far as that goes, and get rid of opening round if you're going to do it.
Well, I think that's part of Ed's pitch is if you had State of Origin, well, then you're sort of getting a bit of an opening to football anyway, and then you can sort of be smart then in the first round of where you want the matchups, and you still give the exposure to the northern club. So I think it's a lot of ideas trying to find solutions for a lot of smaller issues.
I think at the start you said the Crows and Port's fortunes, one's going one way, one's going the other. Well, the Crows are heading north and I think Port are heading south. I'll leave Timmy to that one, but the Crows v Suns.
It's only hope, mate.
Yeah, midfield battle is as juicy as any for an early round game.
This is probably the most difficult game to tip at the moment. Because if it was in Adelaide, I think it'd be the Crows, and I think by a couple of goals. But the Suns, even though they haven't played finals in the last 2 years, they've become hard to beat up there at Gold Coast. They do play a lot better footy. I've said it a few times already. I think a massive out for the Suns, which a lot of people haven't really noticed, is missing Charlie Ballard now for the entire year. And it's a game like this where you'd love Ballard with the three big bananas on the forward line for the Crows going, well, Phil Thorpe, Walker, and Big Fog. You even throw in Curtin really at 197 centimetres. But Ballard is a gun and halfback. Now, Collins is a star as well, but that just means the knock-on effect. So Mac Andrews is going to have to play as a key position player in this game, or a key position style player, instead of having to float around or play more that halfback flank style. So I give the Crows the edge forward of the footy. You mentioned the midfield match-up. They're both in amazing form, and they've got good balance both sides. Bella pushing forward last week against the D's showed that, hey, if Rowell and Anderson are motoring, I can actually get forward and hurt on the scoreboard. So I just think the matchups for the Crows on the opposition backs, the Suns' backs, look pretty good.
Port Adelaide, lost to an Essendon side that just wanted it more. It was probably one of the ugliest games a lot of people have seen, but they got the chocolates over Port. Can they bounce back against the Saints?
That was a game where I think the best described as we survived it. It was so bad. There was a moment, there's a 5-minute patch in that game of football. I was there at Marvel Stadium where if you stood still, that would have been your best option because the ball would have come back to you eventually. So it was like turnovers or circle work. When Ollie Wines kicked that goal where he balked, I forget the Essendon player, on the mark, just outside 50, I think the ball went past him twice because of the turnovers and then eventually came back to him. That's how the stand of the game. Port Adelaide had a pressure rating of 130. You don't have to know what it means, but the fact that 130 is appalling, really, for an AFL game. The worry for me is they still look flaky down back. It's good that Berry is showing something, Sin is showing something, but I just think as a back unit, Radigalea still looks unsure down back. And if I'm the opposition, I'm just taking a lead every single time and just forcing Radigalea up the ground. And so they need to turn around quickly. It can't be Georgiades or bust. That's what it looked like last Thursday.
And it was bust in the end. So we'll just hold our breath, Jim, or how do we go? How do we go for Sunday?
Yeah.
I think that says it all, Timmy. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's get on to somebody else's problems. Carlton v Collingwood. What about Carlton? They can't lose 4 in a row, can they?
Just finally on Port, I actually don't think the 2 rucks is the option. Like, I know they're looking for help for Georgiades, but I'd rather get a bit more creative than just bring in a ruckman for another tall because that just became a liability. Big sweep, he's your number 1 ruck.
Yeah,
I know they tried to get Soldo going, but I'd rather him see just try different personnel or even go Georgiades and Smalls if the others are out injured.
Yeah, Finlayson out of form, Marshall and Lukosius not available. It was really thin. So, yeah, I can't blame him for trying, put it that way.
Yep. Yeah. That's it. Carlton, they can go zip and 4 because Collingwood aren't that bad. They're pretty good and they're experienced. They had that good win where they turned it around after opening round. They look ominous. Collingwood, their ball use is good. All the veterans are going well. Carlton, I think they'll put up a bigger showing. Surely they have to bounce back. In the first quarter against the Dogs, I thought this is what we want from Carlton. They moved the ball. They all didn't sit behind it. They didn't queue up. But again, the issue for them is they're so adamant to run with this back 6, which is very top-heavy. And again, if I'm forward scouting against Carlton, I'm taking Sard as deep as possible every time. Not because of his defensive work. It just means they can't rebound. So you eventually squeeze the life out of Carlton and then just the weight of numbers and Collingwood's forward line will just get on the move really, really well against Carlton. And maybe this time don't have all your star players on the bench with 8 to 9 minutes to go.
I love Carlton-Collingwood games because I don't care who wins and I don't care who loses. It's an absolute win-win for me, Jimmy. Hey, great week. Thanks for your time, Jimmy. You're a star.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, Jimmy, he is elite, no doubt. Like Statesman Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. They are unique, just like Jimmy, consistently delivering at the highest level. Need the best windows? See Statesman Windows.
Excellent work, Timmy. Okay, let's get you to the footy.
'Cause I'm Timmy G.
Call in now, 8223 0055. If you're a Port Adelaide supporter, you might be a Saints supporter, or you just love footy all round, to get yourself into the FIVEAA locker room in the Riverbank stand. We have drinks, package, food. It's a damn good time at the footy. Call in now if you want to play the quiz. Let's check your roads.
Hey guys, a couple of crashes to watch out for on your way home this afternoon in Brooklyn Park, Sir Donald Bradman Drive near the airport, and in Sturt on Sturt Road near Diagonal Road. Also look out for urgent electrical works in Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. And cameras about the place today include Lady Gary Drive, Largs North, and Victoria Road in Osborne. The federal election has been announced. All Australian citizens 18 and over must be enrolled to vote. Enrol or update your details by 8 p.m. Monday, 7 April at aec.gov.au. Authorised by the Electoral Commissioner, Canberra. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Crow's big man Riley O'Brien joins Rowey and Timmy G each week on the 5AA Sports Show. Find out what's going on at Westlakes thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Adelaide, get ready for the free open road and outdoor show at Jayco Adelaide West Beach this Saturday and Sunday. See the latest from Jayco, Wayne Phillips, Weber Barbecue Adelaide, Red Arc and Matrix ski boats, plus loads more. With exclusive sales offers, plus kids entertainment, food, market stalls and outdoor tips to get you adventure ready. Don't miss it. This Saturday and Sunday, Jayco Adelaide. With free entry and exclusive deals, your adventure starts here.
Sport Show.
Doing day-to-day things online has made our lives easier. Paying bills, shopping, banking. It all makes perfect sense to do online. But what doesn't make sense is doing your will online. It's fraught with potential problems and can leave a mess behind. From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers can answer your questions and help carry out your final wishes properly. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
It's amazing how many great Australian success stories started in a back shed.
Oh, you've always heard those stories.
So it's fitting that it's the exact same place where the Olympic industry story began.
Correct. From humble family beginnings in an old rundown shed to one of the largest home improvement companies in South Australia, Olympic Industries is currently hosting its big Easter sale with excellent savings on the entire range. Yeah.
Did you say egg?
I did. I did. Yeah, that's quite.
Hey, great things happen in sheds, we know that, and even greater things can happen in an Olympic Industries shed. So don't miss your opportunity to make your mark during Olympic Industries Easter sale on now.
Yes, hop into one of their 4 display centres on getting all the good gags. Para Hills, Paraka, Clarence Gardens or Old Ranello, or check out the range at olympicindustries.com.au. Olympic Industries, built to last.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
With so many holiday homes on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. Surfing Tina at a beach villa. Is that a shark? Or channel surfing Tina in an apartment. Ooh, a shark show. Book whoever you want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
When you buy Fluorio Milk Company milk, you're pretty much buying direct from the farmer. We bottle it and send it straight to the supermarket. We deliver it ourselves too. It means we can give SA dairy farmers the best possible price per litre. So when you buy Fluorio milk, you're supporting SA dairy farmers and their families. Plus, your money stays here in SA. And in these times, that's good for all of us. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 5, where are they now with Tony Joles at 5:30? But right now we're getting you off to the 5AA locker room.
Timmy G! Most certainly are, and you want these tickets.
Oh,
5 hour drink package, you got food, you got your mate, calls. We got Adam from Brooklyn Park.
Absolutely. Adam, all the best. This is how it works. 5 callers, each get a turn. Nearest the pin, closest to the amount without going over. Okay, Adam, the question is, Darryl Wakelam played 146 games for Port Adelaide. How many marks did he take in those 146 games? The range, Adam, the range is between 600 and 800. What's your guess? Nearest the pin.
I'll go straight in the middle. I'll go 710.
710. Thank you, Adam. Let's go to Mark at Summerton Park. G'day, Mark.
G'day, I'm Don.
Good, buddy. What number for you, Darryl Wakelam?
I'll go 725.
725. Peter at Paraka. G'day, Pete.
How you going, boys?
All right, buddy. Darryl Wakelam, how many marks did he take in his 146 games for Port Adelaide?
702.
702. Thank you, Peter. Let's go to Mike. Hello, Mike.
Timmy.
How many marks did Darryl Wakelam take?
What was the minimum amount again?
Minimum was 600. Maximum was 800.
I'll go 605.
605. Thank you, Mike. And last but not least, Jill at Paralowie. Hi, Jill.
Oh, how are you?
How many names do you think, Jill?
I'd say 650.
650. And the number was 702. Peter, you did some quick homework there, did you, buddy?
He Googled.
Thanks, boys.
2 locker room tickets, mate. Port Adelaide St Kilda this Sunday, 6th of April. They're great tickets. Have you been inside the locker room prior, Peter?
No, not before, no.
You'll have a ball, mate.
You'll love
5AA locker room should be a good contest. Let's get a winner.
Hey, Pete, did you guess that or you Googled it?
Never you mind, Rowey.
That's a good answer as well. Well done, Pete.
You get 4 tickets to the 5AA locker room. Well done, Pete.
More chances for you to win tomorrow. It's 27 after 5. Where are they now next?
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
The US President Donald Trump will be announcing tariffs he's going to place on countries around the world as part of what is being called Liberation Day by the Trump administration in the United States.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
John Short with the Southern Illinois University.
Any expectation that this will be a thoughtful, nuanced, strategic plan is, of course, ridiculous. That's not how Donald Trump rolls.
5AA Breakfast.
But it has profoundly serious consequences.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Adelaide's biggest Greek festival in the heart of the city, the Yasu Adelaide Greek Festival, is bringing 2 epic days of food, fun and culture to Benithan Park on April 5th and 6th. Experience the magic of Greece with over 40 food and market stalls, live music and entertainment, plus traditional dancing and performances. Whether you're Greek or just Greek at heart, everyone is welcome. The Yasu Adelaide Greek Festival, Benithan Park, 5th and 6th April. Tickets online at Eventbrite or at the door.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
If I say multi, are you thinking vitamins? Or bets? If gambling's never far from your thoughts, or you're often looking forward to your next bet, you could be showing the early signs of gambling harm. But if you spot the harm, you can stop the harm. Visit gamblingharmsupport.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Going away on a road trip this Easter? Get ready to roll with TJM's flash sale. Score big and save up to 40% off camping gear and light bars, plus 20% off suspension, 20% off canopies and 20% off recovery gear. Want to know more and see what else is on sale? Head into TJM Nailsworth or Ranella to get your Easter road trip ready. But hurry, sale ends Friday, April 4th. Take the lead with TJM.
Above the secure parking and private residence lobby, your spectacular sky home awaits. It welcomes you with unparalleled innovation and the comfort of knowing that you are beyond safe. You are blissfully carefree. Flawless design, sunlit spaciousness and immersive views envelop your sky-high haven. Parkline by Chase Crown is living above and beyond. An opportunity not to be missed. parklinekenttown.com.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. 6 teenagers have been arrested after police tracked a stolen car that ended up on the Oban track. Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton are at loggerheads over how to respond to US tariffs on the eve of more sweeping trade restrictions. Hollywood is paying tribute to Val Kilmer after his death at 65. And in sport, Crows coach Matthew Nix has hinted at resting Taylor Walker for one of their upcoming games. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon, couple of crashes to watch out for on your way home. One in Brooklyn Park, so Donald Bradman Drive near the airport, and one in Sturt on Sturt Road near Diagonal Road. Got urgent electrical works to keep an eye out for too in Penfield Gardens. That's on Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. And speed cameras about the place today include Trimmer Parade in Seaton and Osborne Road in North Haven. Max has all the best movies and shows like Barbie, the Harry Potter 8 film collection, and HBO originals The Last of Us and The White Lotus. Max, all killer, no filler. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 14 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 22. Right now it's 23 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Welcome back at 28 minutes to 6. Georgie Horges from our winning Thunderbirds is going to join us a little bit later on in the show. We're going to talk Australian Top Fuel Championships, which are back at the Bend, and speak with Phil Reid, one of the leading drag racers in the country. And your calls, 8223 0000. Still plenty of time to get your thoughts on the air. But now, right, thanks to Walco, who are at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover. It's time for one of our favourites.
The 5AA Sports Shows, Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Yes, always my favourite time of the week. Absolutely love this for Walco. Well, this man was one of the players that I grew up admiring and loving in the sort of 77-81 period when Port Adelaide broke a drought and then went on to win 3 out of 4 flags. He came from Yorktown originally. He played 190 games, mainly on a half-back flank, 3 times premiership player, 77, 79, 81. All-Australian too, 1983. A lot of people forget that when he was playing for South Australia, an absolute champion. And number 23, Tony Joles, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Joles, number 23, it became famous with, Michael Jordan, all the rest of it, but you started it.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so, Timmy.
Was that just a number they gave you, mate, out of the locker?
That's exactly right. It's the way it came out of the locker.
Hey, mate, Yorktown, tell us about your childhood growing up. Were you a farm boy, townie family? What were you?
My father was a farmer, Yorktown, York Peninsula.
Yeah, right.
He was doing it tough over there, as most farmers are. I left there when I was 15, 16 to come over to play footy.
Yeah, right. So pretty young. And then how did your footy journey go? How did you get to Port Adelaide as such? Because I know zoning wasn't quite in those days. What was the contact to get you to Alberton?
Well, what Port Adelaide did very cleverly, they were recruiting a lot of the country kids from the junior colts, the second best player or the best player, and asked them to come out and try at Port Adelaide. Right. So that was pre-zone, so they were getting a lot of kids rolling up every February, and we used to call them the February footballers. There'd be 60, 80 centremen out there looking for a game.
Jeez. So, did you get billeted out back in those days? Did you stay with a host family?
I stayed with my grandmother, actually.
Oh, right.
So my grandmother was in Adelaide, so I was fortunate in that one.
Yeah, was the family a Port Adelaide family, or what? Did they barrack for other clubs, or?
Well, strange you should say that. The entire family was Sturt.
Wow.
My father played for Sturt. My brother played for Sturt. My uncle was captain at Sturt, and my son played for Sturt. I won a flag against Port Adelaide, would you believe, in under 17.
Geez, there's some irony. You're the only one that broke the drought, mate. Yeah, unreal.
Well, why would I refuse the opportunity to join the best club in Australia?
Great call there, mate. You know, when you first came out and started to play, it wasn't easy for you. You were one of those guys that had to really persist to break in.
Absolutely. I came there as a 16-year-old and played a few games in under 17s. And I got stuck in the backlog in the twos. I played 2.5 odd years in the twos.
Wow.
Some 50-odd games plus, because the lineup at Port Adelaide, as always, is extremely hard to break into. Some very good players playing in front of me, and you had to wait your turn. And you had to work like crazy to get a game.
Well, you did, and in your third season you broke through terrifically, a premiership player in the drought-breaking flag of 77, and your captain had this to say.
Taking us a bloody long time, but by Jesus, worth it.
Only took you 3 years.
Yeah, no, I was standing alongside him when he said that, and it was such a big win in 77 because in 76, of course, that was the year that Sturt beat us, and we were odds-on favourite to win in 76, and I played in that one, and that was the year that everyone sat inside the ground at Football Park.
Yes. Massive crowd.
And we were literally smashing into the spectators like bowling balls in the bowling pins, mate.
Wow.
I was sitting inside the ground. Could you imagine that today?
Oh, God, we had a bloke push somebody into someone else and got 3 weeks. Tony, that Jack Carr was the coach. let's do 76. You lost that one. You won in 77. I read today that's the last grand final Jack Cahill lost.
Was 76.
Was 76. Tell us what he was like for you as a coach.
Well, Jack was a very good coach. He was an inspiration to the players. He got the very best out of the individuals, which was one of his skills. He made sure that you believed that you were good enough to do the work. And I think that's a real skill as a coach to get the best out of individual players. So Jack was instrumental. My first experience with Port Adelaide coaches was I actually had the privilege of playing one trial game as a 16-year-old against Footscray, and Foss Williams was the coach.
Wow. Unreal.
So, and we lost that game, and I won't say what Foss said after that game. I wasn't very happy. I said, good luck.
Yeah, we'll get taken off air.
Yeah, exactly right. And the last coach I had was Russell for a year and a half in the last year and a half I played.
Now
I was fortunate to have all three of them.
That's incredible, isn't it, across your journey? Tell me this, Tony. My memory says you All-Australian 83, you play state footy very early on in the 84 season, but you do a knee. You actually do an ACL, and you didn't quite know it. You thought you'd heard it, but did you play on the whole game?
Yeah, I did. I did in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter when I ran into Timmy Watson.
Jeez.
And I thought the knee was a bit strange and wasn't reacting the way it should. And half times, Peter Barnes was the state doctor at the time. He said, your knee's gone. You've done a cruciate.
Wow.
So,
Barnesy.
It was all over. Sat on the bench, and that was the last game I played. And Timmy Watson was the last guy that ran into my knee, if you like, and it was all over.
Wow, that's unbelievable. But I just can't believe you kept playing. That's the bit that always stunned me.
Well, I was playing against Victoria. The adrenaline was pretty high.
Yeah, good call.
So it was a terrific game. That was the game that Kernahan kicked 10 goals.
Yes,
and we lost by 4 points.
That was a cracking game. Yeah, it was a great game.
It was a great game. Kernahan was unbelievable that night. A terrific player. And for those that can remember, I think the year after, Carlton got the recruiting coup of the world, and they picked up Motley, Kernahan and Bradley.
What a trifecta.
Not a bad threesome there.
Yeah, and the following year they picked up Nailey just to top it off. So yeah, they did well.
So,
Tony, can I ask about your era? Like the talent and the characters that were in there. I mean, I got to. It was always you, Eki and Kuchi that used to, sort of always, I don't know, be a bit mischievous. You'd always be laughing with one another, and you always
scallywags.
Oh, yeah, scallywags, having a good time. But what was it like in that era, and who sort of entertained you?
Well, we're all country boys. A lot of people forget that Port Adelaide was made up of a lot of country recruits from those kids I told you about earlier.
Yes.
A lot of country kids were playing at Port Adelaide. Greg was from Eyre Peninsula, and Eki was from Blyth. And, a lot of the guys were country lads, and we got on very well because of that. It was pretty simple on a half-back line when you had someone like Greg Phillips playing centre half-back. What else do you have to do? He just marked every ball, and I just kept running forward, and Eki just picked up the ones he happened to drop at the back.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah. No, but we had a good understanding on the half-back line, and indeed the whole team had a pretty good understanding, and we respected each other's abilities, and we knew each other's game very well.
Who was your bunny at half-back? Who was a forward that just couldn't get a kick on you?
I won't mention any names because these guys are probably still alive.
Yeah.
I used to like standing left footers because they only turn one way, mate.
Okay.
Good call.
Well, that wouldn't be hard
a
to
lot
work
of people
out
used
who
to
they
get
were.
sucked into left footers, but you were very clever at shutting that down. Like you said, they only had one way to go.
Yeah, they only went one way every time. So there's a few famous ones I could mention, but I won't.
No, we'll work that one out. So who gave you trouble? What were the right footers that gave you trouble, Tony?
All the forwards I stood on were pretty talented players. But probably, if I was going to throw a name in, one of the toughest ones was Ralphie Stewart to stand. He was very quick.
But he was a left footer.
He was very quick. He never fell over. Could kick left and right foot. Strong as a bull. He was tough.
He was tough.
But the rest of them, and then the state side of it, there was Dacos and Watson and Bartell.
Wow.
Good names.
Bartlett, should I say Bartlett?
Yeah.
From Richmond. So, yeah, they're all tough. Still have their abilities.
Hey, Joles, there was an incident. I was playing reserves. I was only a young fella, and I was become a spectator straight away to watch a league game. It was 1983, I reckon, Bay Oval, and one of the hardest and most brutal hits I've seen was David Holst on you. You went mid-air and spun around. It looked quite dangerous. I thought you were going to, do damage to your neck. That was a nasty hit, mate. How did you recover from that one? Because I think you spent the night in hospital, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit longer than a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was playing football and I next minute I could see white and I thought, wow, and it ended up being the roof of the ambulance.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't see much of that coming. I won't say who gave me the handle that set it up a bit. But
yeah, right.
Well,
I'll have to go back and look at that. But it was a banger of it was set up, and poor old Joles got taken bang, but he spun mid-air like full 360s and landed on the old scone. Yeah, it was dangerous.
It's not on my replay list.
No, I wouldn't be watching that one. It was funny. I was speaking to Brian Cunningham. He said that he didn't play that day, but he went to the hospital with you because they were that concerned.
No, he rang Sharon and said, you better go to the hospital. Tony's in hospital. So Sharon wasn't even at the game.
Yeah, and I know it. I then asked him about you, and he said, look, Tony was really underestimated. He was so fast, and coming off that half back, he was the quickest in all the sprints that we did and all the rest of it. And I asked Greg Phillips, and he said, well, he was the quickest coming out the pub, I'll tell you right now. Could you would say that, wouldn't he?
No, he would. He would. So,
as you described, mate, what a half back line that was, though.
When you finished up, did you coach? Did you stay involved in the game? Did you, Tony?
I did, Rowey. I had a little stint with PACL Scholars in the 03 Amateur League for 4 years and coached there for a while.
Okay.
In 1987, the same year that my daughter was born, and I started the business, Adelaide Warehouse and Distribution Services, the same year, and coached PACL Scholars in 03 Amateur. So I wasn't doing much that particular year.
I was going to say.
So you're a PAC boy. You're a little college toff.
No. I didn't go to PAC.
Oh, well why'd you end up? Oh, because you. Okay, I was going to say.
Well, that was 3 years after I finished, and they approached me to coach me.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Hey, Joles, that business you were talking about, because I reckon, I remember, did you work for TNT? You were in logistics, weren't you?
Yeah, when I was playing footy, they were the days you had to work full time and play football full time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jobs.
That obviously gave you your background.
Yeah, it did. I worked for TNT for 10 years.
Wow, unreal.
And while I was playing footy, and then I started my own business in 1987. 38 years on, she's still going well.
Yeah, good.
Warehouse and logistics company.
Oh, brilliant. You haven't retired yet then?
Well, I'm going to be a milestone year this year, mate.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I saw, I think it was on Monday, I think Eki was 70 years of age. He's retired, so I think Brian's working on it, isn't he? So you better get and join the crew, mate.
Well, it took you 41 years to ring me, mate. It's been 41 years since I've played. Thank God we'd have to wait another 41 years.
Mate, absolute pleasure getting you on, mate.
Well
really
done.
appreciate it. The man that started the craze on number 23, I reckon. But a fantastic
I don't
player.
think so.
You did, buddy. 77, 79, 81. Fantastic memories, mate. Really appreciate your time.
It's all right, mate.
Brilliant stuff. Tony Joles, our guest, a great player, absolute South Australian legend. And I think people forget All-Australian 83 when it was pretty tough competition in that time there as well. And playing against some of those names he mentioned there. So all thanks to Walco. It's SA's biggest cover-up, and it's Walco's mesh pool cover. Keeps leaves and debris out of your pool all year round because it's pulled up super taut and never sags. It looks great. Ask Walco about their mesh pool cover.
Outstanding. 13-6.
Yeah, guys, a couple of crashes to watch out for at the moment in Old Noarlunga, Main South Road at Allen Street, in Sturt Road near Diagonal Road, and in Brooklyn Park, so Donald Bradman Drive near the airport. Also got a breakdown causing issues in Belair on James Road near Old Belair Road. And watch out for some urgent electrical works in Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. Live way better with Nature's Way thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Right now, Nature's Way vitamins are half price at Chemist Warehouse. Yes, half price. Be quick. Sale ends April 9. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, Sarah Wren here, Market Lead at 5AA. 2025 will mark my first year participating in the annual Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out. On June 19, SA business and community leaders will gather at Adelaide Zoo for one night to raise funds and awareness for people who sleep rough every night. If you're a business or community leader, help break the cycle of homelessness by signing up at ceosleepout.org.au.
Life is busy, but your loved one's safety is priceless. With Care Alert's personal alert system, you can relax knowing they're supported anytime, anywhere. With features like two-way talking, fall detection and GPS tracking, make life stress-free for you and your family. Call 1300 75 85 95 or go to carealert.com.au for a Care Alert personal alert system today. Because caring never takes a break.
Dreaming of the perfect holiday? Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Save up to 75% off your second guest. Plus, receive up to $500 onboard credit per stateroom and up to an additional $175 onboard credit with the Platinum Cruise Club. Sail Australia, New Zealand, the Mediterranean and more. Cruise aboard Celebrity Edge, featuring 29 world-class restaurants, bars, lounges and the breathtaking magic carpet. Hurry, ends 7th of April. Visit pht.com.au.
Use your outdoor area all year round with Louver House. They're the market leaders in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof.
It's a great advantage having one of these. A Louver House roof will let in the perfect combination of airflow and sunlight, just as you need it, and then you can use it night and day with options like the LED lighting. Now, when the weather turns a bit, automatic rain sensing technology just kicks in and keeps everything dry and protected.
How good's that? So visit the showroom to see for yourself. Everything's manufactured here in SA from the highest quality materials, then distributed across Australia by a family-owned and operated business. They're the best kind.
Correct. Make sure you tune in after our show, 6:30 tonight, for Driving with Dixon, proudly supported by Rod Webster of Louver House, great supporter. Please call his team today. Organise a free, no-obligation design, measuring quote. They'll even come out to you to do it. See the light with Louver House. Visit louverhouse.com.au.
Wayville Hyundai's 2024 stock clearance is on now. Every new 2024 Hyundai is priced to clear. No waiting, no delays. You can drive away today. Did you know you can always get your car in quicker for a service at Wayville Hyundai? Enjoy peace of mind knowing you're in the best hands with our expert service team. Ask about our service now, pay later options. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground at 11 Goodwood Road.
At SEW Eurodrive, we keep Australian industry moving with innovative drive technologies and unmatched service. Our 24-hour emergency breakdown service minimises downtime to maintain productivity.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
9 minutes to 6. We're taking your calls, 8223 0000. We have Thunderbirds tickets still to give away, and we'll speak to one of the Thunderbirds stars, Georgie Hodges, a two-time flag winner, on the program after 6.
Yeah, great chat for Walco with Tony Joles, and a couple of great texts come in from Dave, and another one saying, ask Tony about the greatest tackle of all time when he tackled John Duckworth running full pelt in the middle of the game at Footy Park. It was the second semi-final, and he was coming straight through, and he won the McGarry medal that year. He's a powerful beast, John Duckworth, and he was coming straight through, and Tony Joles was standing, and I think he thought, I'm just going to go straight through him. Tony was a great tackler. Took the heat, got the arms around and took him down the ground, and the crowd went off. And it was one of those pivotal moments where you felt like the whole game had just changed. And, Dave Slug Elliott, who was a great umpire, Dave, thank you very much for putting that one through. It was a game breaker. and it sort of gave Port the momentum. Sensational stuff.
There's a couple of others here. Did Des Foster ever give Tony Joles a free kick? I doubt it.
Wasn't keen on it, that's for sure. So, State of Origin was his last game. How's that?
Yeah.
Did his knee, 1984. Stephen Kernahan kicks 10. Definitely was I'm the best player in the country at centre half forward, and it established him. But that was his last game ever.
Wow. Well, last night it was a big discussion point on Footy Classified. Eddie Maguire broke a lot of information that was quite fresh and new to all of us in the footy landscape. This is what he had to say around the possible return of State of Origin next year.
Over 2 weekends, Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia and the Indigenous All-Stars. And in a separate division, Queensland, New South Wales, Tasmania and the Northern Territory. Winners play off in the All-Australian final and an international rules game between Australia and Ireland in the women's group.
What do you think?
Well, I don't mind if the players are behind Origin and they're prepared to commit and we get the best teams, I'm happy for it. If it's a half-cocked effort, I'm not happy with it.
But I'm not happy. I'm a South Australian. I want to see my Indigenous brothers play for my team.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of that.
And I think they would like to do both. I mean...
Well, don't make them pick. I think that's hard as well.
Don't make them choose. I agree with that totally. And
I'm not a fan of that.
Remember I said I'd like to keep it separate where biannually you have State of Origin and the other one you have All-Stars. Yeah. So... It's very interesting. I was speaking to a mate of mine who does a lot of work in the Indigenous AFL space. He said that there was so much energy around the AFL Indigenous game that a lot of the players have had almost a recheck, going back into the normal season. So isn't that interesting? Because they were so hyped about this game, and I wondered whether the same effect might have State of Origin coming into it. So it could be a good thing.
Matthew Nix had his say on it.
I love the concept of it. I love the idea of it. Other sports, it's obviously huge. Yeah, it's one of those ones that I'd embrace, but it'd be an interesting one come mid-season when you've got a healthy list and you don't want to take too many risks.
And
that's the key.
Yeah,
that's the key. Everyone's happy till Riley Thilthorpe goes down.
Lee Matthews also had his say.
The first week of March now, we play the first fair income game, right? And you're watching it's brutally and physically demanding, and that's the start of about 29 weeks. This thought of playing State of Origin in the middle of February is either crazy or demeaning State of Origin.
I agree.
Ooh,
that's not the place to put it.
Where do you want it then?
Well, we always had it mid-year. It was State of Origin, the big one in NRL is mid-year. When you get your form and you build up and you bloody all want it and bang.
I think to counter that was the 1988 Bicentennial Carnival was in February.
Okay.
And that went off really well.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd argue against that, Lee.
I think
I'd argue against it.
I think it's cooked. Hello, Wayne.
Hello, guys. How you going?
Excellent.
Good, Wayne.
What do you got for us?
I just want to... I'm a senior footy coach at South Gawler Footy Club. I just want to give my club a bit of a plug if I can.
Go for it.
To try and get a few more players out, if that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. What grades do you need them in, Wayne? All grades?
Yeah, we've got boys and girls, but we've got under 10s, 13s, 16s and senior women, and we're just lacking a few girls in all those grades.
Right. 10s, 13s, was it 16s?
Yeah, and the senior women's side.
Rightio.
Okay.
So we're in the BLGW. We train Monday and Wednesday at 6:15, and our games are normally Sundays.
Okay.
Sundays. Yeah.
So what are your colours, Wayne?
What am I? What? Sorry.
What are the colours of your team? South
We are
Gawler.
blue and white. We are the Lionesses.
Okay.
So we've only been going in the women's side for about 3-4 years now.
Yep.
So it's a big build-up, and obviously we're in a BLGW league, and it's a struggling comp where, all clubs are struggling at this end for some reason.
Okay. For numbers, countries, a bit like that, isn't it?
Finances or whatever, I'm not sure.
So how do they get hold of you, Wayne? You got a website, or you can register? Are you having a day where they can all come out, or?
We've got a Facebook, obviously. It's a South Gawler Women's Facebook group. You can just jump on that and send a message to our football director, and she can give details.
Yeah.
We'll post that link on our Rowey and Timmy G
I really
Twitter
appreciate
account.
that, 'cause, I just want to keep going with the girls and try and keep
Good on you.
yeah, I just want to keep going, that's all.
Well, thank you for
on you,
volunteering as well,
Yeah.
mate, because we know the clubs only survive on people like your good self for putting your hand up, mate. So well done, Wayne. Really appreciate it. South Gore Footy Club, if you are a female in the under-10s, 13s, 16s or open seniors, get on to South Gore. They need players.
Great opportunity to get out there and play some footy. It's 3 minutes to 6.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Do you have Coles Plus Saver? You can get 10% off one in-store or online shop every calendar month. Plus double Flybuys points on every shop. Plus, it's only $7 a month. Join Coles Plus Saver and link your Flybuys. Limits, exclusions and T's and C's apply.
With so many holiday homes on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. Surfing Tina at a beach villa. Is that a shark? Or channel surfing Tina in an apartment. Ooh, a shark show. Book whoever you want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Going away on a road trip this Easter? Get ready to roll with TJM's flash sale. Score big and save up to 40% off camping gear and light bars, plus 20% off suspension, 20% off canopies and 20% off recovery gear. Want to know more and see what else is on sale? Head into TJM Nailsworth or Ranella to get your Easter road trip ready. But hurry, sale ends Friday, April 4th. Take the lead with TJM.
The Roller Door Doctor, this is Nurse Tracy.
Hello, hi. My husband managed to get it up this morning, but now I can't get it to go down again.
Sounds like you need automation. At the Roller Door Doctor, we can turn any garage door from manual to automatic.
Really?
Then you can get it up anytime, anywhere with an app on your phone.
The Roller Door Doctor, helping SA get it up for over 30 years. Contact the Roller Door Doctor for garage door repairs, service and installation. therollerdoordoctor.com.au.
Are you ready to vote? The federal election has been announced. If you've recently changed your name or address, turned 18 or become an Australian citizen, you must update your enrolment details or enrol to vote before 8 p.m. on Monday, 7th of April. Head to aec.gov.au or pick up an enrolment form at any AEC office and return it to the AEC before 8 p.m. on Monday, 7th of April. Your vote will help shape Australia. Authorised by the Electoral Commissioner, Canberra.
The Easter Bunny has hopped into all 18 RSPCA op shops and hidden eggs for you to find. Head into any RSPCA op shop until the end of April and hunt for the hidden eggs in store. Each egg unlocks a special discount and every purchase helps animals in need. So hop to it and find those eggs. Visit your nearest RSPCA op shop today and find a bargain. For more info, head to rspcasa.org.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 14 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 22. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Get down to the free open road and outdoor show at Jayco West Beach this weekend. jaycoadelaide.com.au.
6 teenagers have been arrested after police tracked a stolen car to the northeastern suburbs this afternoon. 2 other stolen cars remain outstanding. A Mustang was reported stolen at Roslyn Park this morning. There was a lengthy chase with police before the vehicle was spotted outside an address at Elizabeth North. 4 arrests were made, but 2 suspects drove off, the car eventually coming to rest on the Oban track. A 14 and 19-year-old were arrested and charged with illegal use. The 4 teens arrested at Elizabeth North are aged 14 to 16. They've also been charged with illegal use. Investigations into the crime series are being conducted by Youth and Street Gang Task Force and further charges may be laid. Police are still looking for 2 outstanding stolen vehicles, a grey 2018 Nissan Qashqai sedan and a black 2010 Toyota Land Cruiser. Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton are engaged in a tit-for-tat over how to respond to US tariffs on the eve of more sweeping trade restrictions. Zach De Silva is travelling with the Prime Minister.
US President Donald Trump's next round of tariffs will be unveiled on Thursday, and they're likely to send shockwaves through the federal election campaign. The levies are expected to be far broader than restrictions on our steel and aluminium imports, which were announced in February. Opposition leader Peter Dutton claims he'd be better placed to negotiate an exemption for Australia.
The Prime Minister is seen as a weak leader.
Anthony Albanese says Mr Dutton's criticism is wrong.
He thinks this is a contest of who can say
the most aggro things.
There are reports Australia is also considering taking the US to the World Trade Organization in response to the tariffs.
A month-long campaign promoting SA wines has kicked off in Canada. 14 South Australian wine brands, including Chalk Hill, Two Hands and Yalumba, will be showcased across Ontario. Trade Minister Joe Sockarch says it's a big market for SA winemakers.
So Canada's our 5th largest wine export destination, and in fact our total exports to Canada have jumped by over 60% to 700 million in just the last 12 months.
In New South Wales, the DPP will appeal the sentence given to a former police officer accused of fatally tasering 95-year-old Claire Noland in a nursing home. Christian White was handed a 2-year community corrections order and 425 hours community service for the manslaughter. Prosecutors say the sentence is manifestly inadequate. Hollywood is paying tribute to actor Val Kilmer, who's died at the age of 65. He battled throat cancer a few years ago and underwent a tracheotomy, but succumbed to pneumonia. His movies included Heat, Tombstone, Batman Forever, The Doors and The Saint. One of his most beloved roles was as Iceman in Top Gun. Co-star Tom Cruise, full of praise for his appearances in both the original and Maverick in 2022.
You know, the first one, I really rallied hard for him to make the movie.
You're everyone's problem.
And the kind of talent that he has, and you see that scene, is very special.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
Crows coach Matthew Nicks has hinted at resting Taylor Walker for one of their upcoming games. Adelaide have an away game against the Suns this weekend and then the Gather Round opener in round 5. Nicks says he's working to manage the 34-year-old.
We go a 6-day break into a 5-day break and that's an ongoing conversation that Tex and I are having daily.
Melbourne coach Simon Goodwin admits too many of his players are not in the form they need to be, with the Demons winless after 3 games. Goodwin says 5-time leading goal kicker Bailey Fritsch is among the senior players he wants a response from against the Cats on Friday.
I thought on the weekend, clearly he didn't take his opportunities and dropped a few marks that he should have taken. There's a few people in that basket. Now, we've put some guys back to the VFL in recent times, like Daniel Turner and Harvey Langford, to get into some really strong form with some success, and we might have to do that with a few others in time.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your blocks are size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Hey, good evening. Watch out for a couple of crashes on your way home tonight in Brooklyn Park, Sedona Bradman Drive near the airport, in Sturt Road near Diagonal Road, and in Old Noongar, Main South Road at Allen Street. Also got a breakdown causing issues on James Road near Old Blair Road in Blair, traffic affected in both directions, and urgent electrical works in Penfield Gardens, Anglevale Road near Hayman Road. Want fast internet for less? Save $15 a month for 6 months on all Optus home internet plans. Hurry, ends April 6. New services only. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 14 overnight, partly cloudy for your Thursday, 22. Friday, partly cloudy, 21. Saturday, mostly sunny, 22. Right now, it's 23 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Thank you. I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. 2 teens have been arrested after driving a stolen Mustang onto the Oban. Business owners in Chinatown are worried about rising violence following a wild brawl. And residents in the southern suburbs want action over a thick dust coating their homes. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. You can start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide. Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It's 6 minutes after 6 here on this Wednesday evening, which means we're not too far away from 5AA's Charlie Dixon taking over with Driving with Dixon from 6:30. And speaking of motoring, very soon we'll be speaking to Phil Reid, who's one of Australia's top fuel drag races. The Aussie Top Fuel Championships are back at the Riverbend Nationals at Shell V-Power Motorsport Park this weekend. So we'll speak to Phil very shortly as well. And your calls 8223 0000.
Well, our Adelaide Thunderbirds are back in town. They're going to be playing at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. They've won back-to-back. They're now going for 3 in a row. It is a big title defence. We've got the star player of 2024 on the line. Georgie Horges, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
And I was going to ask how pre-season went, but that's a waste of time because you won the pre-season comp.
Yeah, we were pretty happy with our pre-season, but hopefully, we can do even better and play some even better netball after, a good pre-season cup.
Now, I did read Romelda Aiken-George. She's got a bit of a knee problem. Lucy Austin stood up brilliantly in that competition and went for it and was fantastic. But we got a temporary replacement player, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had Sana, who's come over from South Africa, join us. Amazing up-and-coming player. We're really special to have her. But, Romelda's having fitness testing this week, so hopefully she should be up and about ready for the game as well.
Okay, so not too far away on that one. You defeated West Coast FIVEAA in that pre-season cup, and they were leading most of the time. Do they have little nightmares about Thunderbirds now?
I hope so.
Good.
I think it was a good fight back for us, and I think that showed that we can come back from being down by, I think we were down by 8 at some stage, so knowing that we can do that gives us a bit of confidence.
Back-to-back, going for 3. Hard to do. You might need Timmy out there because he's done it at the sample level. Is the hunger there? Do you feel you're still on the red line?
Definitely. I think, this group, we've had, talks about it because it's an obvious thing for us. There's people got to be hunting for us, but we just want to go out there, play 1 week at a time, we're really excited for the season to get started this weekend.
And it'd be nice if you backed it up. God, you had an incredible season last year.
Thank you. I had a big season last year, so hopefully, we can do well again this year.
What have you seen in the comp as far as ins and outs go, Georgie? Our squad was very strong, as we know. We got yourself and, of course, Shamira Sterling-Humphrey voted the best player in the comp defensively. She's amazing. But what's the other teams done about any ins and outs?
Yeah, I think there's been some really big ins for some other teams. There's been some internationals, like Grace Nowacki from New Zealand, as well as another girl at the Thunderbirds. So there's been some really big ins, but I think that's just an exciting challenge for us. We'll do all of our analysis and prep for each week and each team that we come up against. And I think we've also had an exciting in Kayla Graham, another SA girl, so that's exciting for us as well.
Excellent. Love developing the local talent. You had a massive change as far as the way you went inside the key because Romelda came into the side, and I suppose this time you don't really have to have a massive change in game plan, or have you tweaked some things?
I think we can go in with lots of similar things, but we also can't be the same. Teams are going to know what we're good at, so I think over the pre-season we've worked on some things that we can be even better at. So when teams throw things at us, we have some more tools in our toolkit to go up against them.
Tell us about Kayla Graham as one of your ins, and the other one was San Marie Visa.
Yeah, so Kayla is an awesome goalie from SA, and she played for Contact, same club as me. She's really exciting, goal attack, wing attack. Has had an awesome pre-season, really fit and strong, and really excited for her. And then, having Sana come over as a temporary replacement player. To be honest, I haven't seen her much play for South Africa, so it's really exciting to have a fresh face, and she's really challenged us at training. So, I'm really excited for her as well to join us.
Are you going to play in the guts?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know myself yet, so we'll have to wait.
Well,
why would you not know?
She can play anywhere.
Well, I know she can. Gifted.
Unbelievable. Goal attack.
I guess whatever's best for the team on the weekend. I'm actually happy to play either.
You're too humble, Georgie.
Where would you like to settle down and play?
Where did you play on Kangaroo Island?
In the guts.
I was always goal attack, actually.
GA.
You go.
Yeah, didn't play wing attack till I was under 17s.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. You are multi-purpose.
Yeah. Have you ever played WD? That's my favourite position.
No, I haven't. I don't think I've got the agility and the jump for that.
Oh. My daughter played netball all the way through, and she said she puts the peanuts at WD. Is that true?
I don't know about that. I think
No, you can't say that. Georgie, don't agree with him.
That's what Gemma said. Gemma coaches, mate. Grange United.
Yeah, but doesn't coach Adelaide Thunderbirds, does she?
You put your worst player or your peanuts at GD.
Have you seen the guns they've got?
Wing defence.
Gee whiz, I tell you.
One of our best players is wing defence, so...
Correct.
Yeah, can't say anything about that.
Well, I can go home and tell Gemma tonight, then you're wrong.
Yeah. Actually,
thanks, Georgie.
Is that Latanya Wilson? She played wing defence?
Yep, she does.
She's a gun, mate. An absolute gun. You don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Georgie and Timmy, I didn't call her a peanut.
This is the top level, mate. Hey, Georgie, Lauren Frew, she came on the scene, and I just thought, and the rotations that Tanya ran last year, I just thought she was an incredible contributor in that, that really important season for you.
Yeah, she was awesome for us. You'd never think that was her first season in SSN. She had so much confidence, and I think she had coming through the levels, she didn't make teams and things like that. So it was really exciting for her to get her going in her first season, start in a grand final. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think if I was an opposition club, I'd be knocking on the door saying, hey, I'll be doing, Sam Mitchell behaviour, getting over there and having a cup of coffee with them, that sort of thing. And I've got to say, just lost my thoughts there. Matilda Garrett, Telly just is one of those most consistent players, isn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing as well. She probably doesn't get the recognition because you've got the Jamaicans around her that get all the specky intercepts, but she does all the hard work, like tags her player, wears them out, just so, other people get the intercepts. So she was an awesome recruit that we got a couple of years ago from Melbourne, but now calls Adelaide home, which, very lucky for us.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Now, this is a massive game. It's a grand final replay. They'd be pretty dirty on you, winning the game, and that was a tough one as well, but it'd be nice to get a good start of the season against them, the Vixens.
Yeah, definitely. I think, we're very excited for the weekend. We know they'll come out ready to go, but, we're excited to play against our home crowd as well. I think there's record memberships being sold, so it's very exciting for us.
Wow, and you sold out the Ent Centre all the time, didn't you? It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's 4:30. You've got to take them on this Saturday and get the job done and make sure we get off to a terrific start in our title defence.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well played. Georgie Horges, she plays well at everything. Adelaide Thunderbirds, I'm sure she'll be lining up at goal attack and wing attack.
Undefeated at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
That's a good record.
Yeah, it is so far. 4:30. Is it called a tip-off?
That's,
Pass-off.
Is it? Yeah,
wouldn't be a tip-off, would it?
Tip-off's basketball, isn't it?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No tipping
Be
off
a pass-off.
No, I would think that would just be first centre pass, I reckon they'd call it.
Okay.
Because centre pass normally...
Can we get Georgie back up? I think she's on the line. Georgie, can you answer the question for us?
No, she can't.
Georgie's gone.
She definitely has gone. She's on the screen. I thought she might have still been there.
She's gone. She's done the hang-up.
I reckon it'd be first centre pass is...
Yes.
And they would say who's
definitely
got the
not a
centre
tip-off.
No, centre pass.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if you want tickets to go see our Thunderbirds take on the Vixens, we have them. A couple of tickets here, a double pass, 8223 0055. Call the comp line now. You can get your tickets as well from AdelaideThunderbirds.com.au. It's 6:15. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll talk to Phil Reid, who's part of what is a really exciting event, the Riverbend Nationals at the Bend.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. If you want to know what's going on at the Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowey and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sterling Homes. Whether your block's the size of the Adelaide Oval or the goal square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Now here's something I'm sure will benefit many listeners. For the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation, try Arbor Vitae, like Rob.
Until I started taking Arbor Vitae, I had pain from mild to severe arthritis in all my joints from my active days when younger, playing rugby league and then working for over 50 years as a builder. It wasn't until July 2023 when I read an article about Arbor Vitae that I decided to give it a punt, having tried everything else with no luck. Within 1 week of starting Arbor-Vitae, I started to notice a difference. I could feel relief from pain, and to my amazement, within 2 weeks all my pain had gone, and I was pain-free for the first time in probably 50 years.
Just like Rob, Arbor-Vitae could have a positive effect on your life too. Arbor-Vitae is available now at all major chemists and health food stores. Arbor-Vitae, it's wellness backed by science. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Liquorland is giving away $5,000 a day until Easter Sunday. Simply scan your flybys with any liquor purchase from Liquorland for your chance to win a $5,000 Coles gift card every day. Plus, when you shop participating brands like Vodka Cruiser, you'll receive a bonus entry into our daily draw to win a $5,000 Coles gift card. Cheers! Head in store or shop online today for your chance to win. Cheers! Liquorland. T's and C's apply, ends 20th of April. Choose to drink wise.
What do free Medicare urgent care clinics, cheaper medicines, cheaper childcare, free TAFE, energy bill relief and tax cuts for every taxpayer all have in common? They've all been delivered by the Albanese Labor government to ease cost of living, and Labor will do more. More free Medicare urgent care clinics, more tax cuts, more energy bill relief, more bulk billing for all Australians and 20% off HEX debt. Labor is building Australia's future.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
Adelaide, get ready for the free open road and outdoor show at Jayco Adelaide West Beach this Saturday and Sunday. See the latest from Jayco, Wayne Phillips, Weber Barbecue Adelaide, Red Arc and Matrix ski boats plus loads more. With exclusive sales offers plus kids entertainment, food, market stalls and outdoor tips to get you adventure ready. Don't miss it. This Saturday and Sunday, Jayco Adelaide. With free entry and exclusive deals, your adventure starts here.
Want to stay living at home as independently as possible? That can come with risks, like falling, especially if you're by yourself. A Vital Call personal alarm can bring peace of mind that rapid response is always there for urgent help, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Before anything happens, get a Vital Call personal alarm. You might even be eligible for a free one. Call 1300 Vital Call now.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
What a tune. 19 minutes after 6.
Australia's Top Fuel Championship returns for the Riverbend Nationals at Shell v Powers Motorsport Park this weekend. And one of the guns, well, he's a star. He's a Top Fuel racing star.
The last time he's here, he broke a record.
He did, and he's a plumber. We call him Phil Reid. Phil, welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We're looking forward to this.
Yeah, so am I. I think I'm looking forward to more than what you guys are.
I reckon you are when you're strapped to a bloody rocket that does over 500 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, well, last time here we reached at the national record, so it was. I mean, it's a new facility. It's smooth. The conditions are always pretty good, and it's just they've built it in the right space and they've built it so well that everybody can throw down and run good numbers. So hopefully we can lower it again this weekend.
Wow. Nitro, just tell us how that works. Why haven't I got that in my car?
If we put in your car, it'll melt the engine within about probably 10 minutes.
Okay, there you go.
It's a very volatile fuel.
Yep.
But funny enough, if you tip it on the ground and try and set fire to it, it'll be very hard to light. That's why we mix it with methanol. Have about 10% methanol to ignite it. But yeah, it's just an explosive fuel that, you add nitro, add chaos, but add nitro, add horsepower. So it's very unforgiving when you get it wrong.
Well, you're going at an almighty lot of rates. What's the physical sensation of it?
It's the G-force is the same as a space shuttle. So when you leave the start line, it's like the space shuttle taking off. So it throws you back in the seat very hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's nothing else on this planet like it. Fastest motorsport in the world, quickest motorsport in the world, 0 to 160 in 0.8 of a second.
That's unbelievable.
What happens if you were driving down the track and you put your arms out? You'd take off, wouldn't you?
Well, realistically, you can't because you're strapped in that well. But I have done a run where I've left my visor up on one run.
Wow.
And it tried to turn my head inside out. The wing got under the visor.
Oh, gee. That is unreal.
On another occasion at Willowbank Raceway in Ipswich, we're racing at night, and I hit a moth right near the finish line, about 300 miles an hour.
Wow.
And it felt like somebody hit me in the head with a hammer. I thought I hit a bird because it splattered all over the visor, but it turned out it was just a moth.
Wow.
And because I was going that fast, it was like somebody hit me in the head with a hammer.
That's ridiculous.
That is incredible, isn't it? Just on that, how does the nose of the car stay down and not take off, like Rowey was saying, like an aeroplane? How does it stay down?
We've got that big carbon fibre wing, the Aerodyne carbon fibre wing, pretty much like the rear wing puts 7 ton on the rear, the front wing will put about 4 ton of downforce on the front.
Right, gee whiz, because I always thought, why don't they rear up? Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of instances in America where the brackets hold the wing brake and the car just takes off.
What got you into this? Just a humble plumber that wants to strap himself to a bloody rocket, Phil?
And hold a national record.
Well, it's a long story, but it's a form of child abuse. My dad raced for so many years, and then I took over from him.
There you go. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, eh?
Yeah, correct. Dad's got I think he's got 18 or 19 Australian titles. Wow. I've got 3, hoping to make it 4 this year.
Yeah, good.
But, it's always been in my blood. And like the royal family, I got an older brother, and it was put to him, did he want to drive? And he said no. So I took over the driving duties.
Next in line.
He actually tunes the car.
Oh, wow.
So between us, I don't tell him how to tune. He doesn't tell me how to drive, and it works very well.
Yeah, good. That was a question I was going to ask. You have a run every couple of hours or so. What's happening with crew in between? How hard are they going at it?
Oh, they work the hardest. I get a good job. But they every run, we take all 8 pistons and rods out. We take the cylinder heads off. We check the crank bearings. We check every bearing in the motor. Put it all back together and go out there an hour and a half to 2 hours later and run again. So,
mate, we can't wait. It's at the Bend. It's fantastic. Now, family and that, what I love is you can walk around the paddock, you can meet the drivers and do all that sort of stuff. It's
well set up.
It's well set up, Phil.
Yeah, 100%. It's you can stand at the end of my pit and watch what we're just talking about. The crew can pull the motor apart. You can see it all coming apart. You can see how everything works, and then you can stand there while we're warming up in the pit. So you can stand 3 feet from it while it's idling. So, but don't forget to bring your earplugs.
Great tip, mate. That's a great tip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's all happening.
And if you're fortunate enough to come down the start line, it registers about 0.4 to 0.7 on the Richter scale for like an earthquake when we leave the start line.
Wow, that is sensational. Looking forward to it, mate. Hey, all the best too. You broke that record last time you were here, so go for it again. It's all happening at the Australian Top Fuel Championships at the Riverbend National Shell FIVEAA Motorsport this weekend. Get on board because you don't want to miss this action. Phil Reid, our guest.
That'll be a lot of fun. 25 after 6. A little bit of breaking news.
Hot off the press.
Thanks to Channel 7's Mitch Cleary, this might be the death of opening round. Collingwood has told the AFL they are done with playing in opening round.
Well, opening round's gone. Dead.
Yeah.
What Collingwood wants, Collingwood gets.
I think we're all over it. Yeah. Didn't want it. Can't believe it existed. And then the annals of time, we will look into the future and go, what happened there? Round 0? How can you have a round 0?
Now, if that was the Crows that said that, guarantee you they'd be doing it.
Yeah,
they just don't listen to us.
Water off the duck's back.
Yeah. They might make Crows go up and play it next year.
Well, there you go. I like this from Maria. How about players with tats taking on players with clean skins?
Instead of state of origin. Yeah. I tell you, I don't know, would you be able to get a team of clean skins? I'm not sure.
Well, I was just thinking
tattoos are very popular today.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a unique homestyle food text in a bit earlier in the day. Michael sent this in and said that, look, Timmy, can you comment on this? Champion data says Port Adelaide only had 92 contested possessions against Essendon, which is the lowest by any club for 10 years.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Furthermore, they said Port's pressure rating was 133 in the second quarter, was the lowest in its AFL history. something's pretty crook with that, with efforts like that. Michael, you're spot on, and I think Jimmy Bartell brought it up and said
so those numbers are correct.
Well, the pressure rating one Jimmy quoted 133. So it's definitely on the weekend wasn't up to standard. They're not numbers that are going to win you a football game.
But that's what happens when you want to play uncontested footy.
Yeah, and the problem with that is
it turns into reachy footy.
Correct. You can't win like that. I'm telling you right now. So you got to get those numbers up, and the pressure rating can't be at 133.
No.
Ken Hinkley spoke about that.
Oh, no, I think they're parts of our game that we know are fundamentally make us a competitive and a good team in the AFL, and if they're off, we're going to get the results we've got in the last 3 weeks. We're 1 and 2. That's the reason, a part of the reason that we may be like that, where some of our method is off and some of our contest stuff has been off. It's up to us to change and rectify.
Bringing in your kit back, because that's what St Kilda do bring.
Unfortunately, those numbers are confirmed. 92 contested possessions.
That's awful.
Not great. And the other pressure factor was 131, not 133. Right. So even worse. So we don't want to see those numbers repeated again this Sunday. Thank you.
We'll see to rectify that. We will also be back tomorrow from 4 o'clock because we have run out of time tonight. Thank you for joining us. Coming up next, it's Driving with Dixon.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The US President Donald